gotta do something about that young'un of yourn.
How'd that happen?
Fighting with a bobcat.
Get hurt?
I reckon so. It went limping off on 3 legs.
I swear I don't know what I'm gonna do about that girl.
Well, the first thing to do is to get her into a dress. She's getting too big to be wearing man's duds. Looky here. She's done popped the buttons off of her shirt again.
Well, Ellie Mae carries herself proud, with her shoulders throwed back.
It ain't her shoulders that's popping these buttons. Fully growed up, rounded out female woman. Time she started acting like one.
Well, one of these days, some boy will come along and start courting her.
They came courting when she was 12. What did she do?
She whopped the tar out of him.
Well, it ain't fitting. Girl running around as wild as a cougar, wrestling, fighting, and hunting. She ought to be doing woman's work. Helping me with the steel.
Well, I'll speak to her.
Oh, that reminds me. Better go down and stomp out the fire under that mess.
Hold on now, Granny. You ain't gonna stomp out no fire like that, are you?
Huh? Oh, of course not. Don't want to burn my shoes.
Paul? Granny! Somebody open the door. Howdy, Paul.
What you got there?
Stranger?
Where'd you get him?
I beat him with a rock.
What for?
He was skulking around down by the slough. Figured he might be a revenuer.
He ain't no revenuer.
Then can I keep him?
Of course not.
Well, I caught him.
Don't matter.
Well, he won't be no trouble. I could keep him out in the smokehouse.
Ellie Mae, you can't keep people like they were dogs and cats.
Ooh! 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 Ow! Ooh, that hurts! Who's that?
Some feller Ellie found nosing around.
Beat him with the rock so it'd be easier to tote.
They're fellas from the petroleum company.
What's a petroleum?
I don't know. He asked me if he could do some wildcatting down by the slough. I said, help yourself. We're glad to get rid of the critters.
What'd he say?
Just kind of laughed. But the laugh's on him. There ain't no wildcats down there at that slough.
No, it's too full of oil.
Oh, what happened? Where am I?
This here's the Clampett place. I'm Jed Clampett, my young'un Ellie Mae, and Granny. Granny says you've been doing some wildcatting.
There's no need to. Mr. Clampett, that swamp of yours is full of oil.
I could have told you that.
Well, my company would like to pump it out.
Yeah, I like that too, but I just can't afford to have it done.
No, you don't understand. You see, you wouldn't have to pay for it.
Oh, I don't take favors from strangers.
No, Mr. Clampett, you see, you're a very rich man.
How big a rock did you bean him with?
No bigger than a hedge apple.
Listen, I've got to call my office in Tulsa. Have you got a telephone?
A what?
A telephone? Or maybe one of your neighbors has one. It's well, down in this country, it's probably a box attached to the wall. And, you talk into it, and they can hear you in Tulsa.
Maybe you better sit down for a spell.
Oh, I haven't time. Listen, where's the nearest airfield?
Airfield?
You know, Granny, that's one of them there fields sets up in the air.
Oh, never mind. I'll find it myself. Listen, now don't you sell that swamp till you hear from me. I'm flying to Tulsa.
Now he thinks he's got wings.
There it is, Mr. Brewster. On the tests and surveys, I'd say that's going to be one of the richest pools since East Texas.
News like this is bound to get out. Let's go down and get Clampett's name on a deal.
Where's the gun? Where's the gun? Oh, there.
What's the matter?
You want to see what just flew over Blueberry Ridge?
What?
The dad-blamedest biggest bird you ever laid eyes on.
Probably just an overrode chicken hawk.
Chicken hawk, nothing. That thing could make off with a hog. Hurry up, put that gun together.
No room to land near the cabin, Mr. Brewster. It's too rocky and hilly. Then let's get the sling ready to be lowered.
Well, Mr. Brewster, that might be dangerous.
Hang the danger. We're going to be the first oil company down there if it kills you.
Me?
Don't worry. If it's safe, I'll follow you.
Granny, I see it. Here it is.
Land of mercy, look at that.
What you doing, Granny?
That thing's only got one claw, but dang if it ain't grabbed up a man.
Hurry, Po, it's my stranger.
Where is it?
Just flew over the house. I'll get it on t'other side.
You kill it, Granny?
No, but I made it drop that stranger.
Granny! Granny!
Yes, Jed?
Granny, grab a hold of something and hang on. Cousin Pearl and that overgrown son of hers is headed right for the cabin in that old truck.
Heaven protect us. Did they hit us, Jed?
No, but I think they sure want the chicken house.
Jed, I'm sure sorry about the chicken house, but nobody got hurt.
Jethro, I told you to get rid of them worn-out brakes.
I did, Ma. That's how come we ain't got none.
Get on out and lift the chicken house back on its foundation.
Jed?
Yeah.
Jed, Ellie Mae came running over to my place, and she said you sold the swamp to some oil company.
Well, yeah, I guess I did.
What did they pay you for it?
Well, he ain't paid me nothing yet. The Brewster fella said he'd bring the money later.
How much they gonna pay you?
Well, he said I'd depend some on how much oil they could pump out.
Well, he must have mentioned some figure. What was it?
Now, Pearl, you know that old swamp weren't worth shucks.
Jed Clampett, you got slickered and you're ashamed to admit it.
That's just what I told you.
Granny, how much they gonna pay him?
All right, I'll tell you. He said around somewhere between 25 and 100.
25 and 100?
I know it don't sound like much, but Mr. Brewster seemed to set great store by the fact he's going to pay me in some new kind of dollars.
There ain't no new kind of dollar.
Well, it's new to me. I've heard of gold dollars, silver dollars, paper dollars, but he says he's going to pay me in, what do you call them, Granny?
$1 million.
Yeah, that's
$1 million?
it. He wrote the whole thing out on this piece of paper. Here, you can see for yourself. I don't know nothing about that.
See here now. Thanks in heaven. Granny, give me the jug.
It's empty, but I'll fetch some.
I'll go, Granny.
Jed, you're a millionaire. A millionaire.
Yeah, that's what that Brewster fella kept calling me. I didn't know just how to take it.
He meant you're rich.
Me?
The richest man in these hills. Maybe in the whole state. Oh, Jed, you can have anything you want. Do anything you want. Go any place you want.
Yeah, that's another thing he kept saying. He said he reckoned I'd be moving away from here soon. What do you think, Pearl? You think I ought to move?
Jed, how can you even ask? Look around you. You're 8 miles from your nearest neighbor. You're overrun with skunks, possums, coyotes, bobcats. You use kerosene lamps for light. You cook on a wood stove, summer and winter. You're drinking homemade moonshine, washing with homemade lye soap. And your bathroom is 50 feet from the house, and you ask, should you move?
Yeah, I reckon you're right. Man, You'd be a dang fool to leave all this.
Oh, there you are, Jed. You misunderstood me. I meant you should move away. And you know where I'd go if I was you?
Where?
California.
California?
Yes, sir. Beverly Hills, California. Jed, remember the time that your pa took us to Eureka Springs to see the movie picture?
Yeah.
Well, the actors that make their movie pictures live in Beverly Hills.
Go on.
Yes, sir.
Well, doggy. Ain't that be something? Living in the same neck of the woods with old Tom Mix.
It sure would. And we could come visit you. I was saying, Jed, folks claim California's got it all beat. Why, things grow twice as big out there.
Jethro would be a whopper, wouldn't he?
He could help you move. He's awful handy at lifting and toting, and he could drive you out in my truck.
I'll tell you what, Pearl. I'm going to have to study on this. When that Brewster fella comes back, I'll ask him what he thinks.
Well, your cousin is right about that, Mr. Clampett. Beverly Hills is a choice residential area, and lots of millionaires do settle there.
Folks like me, huh?
Well, millionaires.
And movie stars, too.
Oh, yes, yes.
Is Tom Mix there?
No, I'm afraid Mr. Mix is dead.
Oh, yeah. What's the matter with me? Remember, Pearl, he got shot at the end of that picture.
Well, there are plenty other movie stars, and that's where Jed wants to live. Ain't it, Jed?
I do like the notion of living in the hills. Never could stand flat country.
Mr. Clampett, I think it only fair. That is, well, I think you may have a wrong idea about Beverly Hills.
Is that where you live?
No, my home is in Tulsa.
Well, say, maybe you could get us a place there in your neighborhood.
Mr. Clampett, let's not beat around the bush. You will love Beverly Hills.
Then that's it. Can you steer Jed onto a good place?
No, I can get the bank out there to handle it for him.
He'd like a nice big place with plenty of room for his kinfolk to visit him.
Is the foreigner staying to supper?
I'm ashamed to say I ain't asked him. How about it?
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, no trouble. What you cooking tonight, Granny?
Mustard greens and possum innards.
Mm-hmm. Did you hear that, Mr. Brewster?
Very clearly.
Want to change your mind?
Not this time.
Well, if you should happen to come back tomorrow, we'll be having leftovers. That's the thing about possum innards. He's just as good as second date. Ellie, if old Duke sits there with you, there ain't gonna be room for Granny.
Oh, that's all right, Pa. Granny ain't gone.
Who says she ain't?
She says she ain't.
That's right, Uncle Jed. She's a sitting on the back porch in her rocker, and she says that's as close to California as you're gonna get her.
We'll see about that. Dang if I ain't got me the muliest women folk. We ain't never gonna get there. Now, what's all this nonsense about you ain't going to California?
Ain't no nonsense to it. If the good Lord had wanted me in California, he'd have put me in California.
Maybe he's just getting around to it. The book says he moves in mysterious ways.
Well, if he moves me, I'll go. But you and Big Jethro ain't a budging me.
Granny, this here Beverly Hills sounds like the kind of place you'd like. That Brewster fella says they got smogs out there.
What's a smog?
Well, me and Jethro figured out that's a small hog. And you heard what Pearl said. It ain't got no snow out there. You could run your still the year round.
Run it the year round here.
Yeah, but walking down through the snow to the still always makes you feel so miserable.
I might feel miserable walking down, but the way I feels coming back makes up for it.
Hey, damn it, Granny. We've been planning and talking about this trip for days. You never said you wouldn't go.
Never said I wouldn't either.
But that Brewster feller has bought us a house in them Beverly Hills. He sent our $25 million to the bank out there.
Well, you just chase on out after it. I'm staying right here. And I ain't afeared neither.
Granny, I ain't leaving you here alone.
And I ain't a budging out of this rocker.
Jethro, what does that sign say?
It says Beverly Hills.
You hear that, Granny? We're there.
They call them hills? Why, we got moles that can push up higher ridges than that.
Well, leastways, these hills will be among our kind of folks.
This deposit of $25 million to the account of J.D. Clampett.
J.D.?
As in Rockefeller. Elevates us to third position in capital assets and assures our bank of... Come in.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, Mr. Drysdale.
All right, Taylor. Well, are we all set to give the Clampetts a red carpet reception?
Well, I'm afraid Mrs. Drysdale still isn't too happy, sir.
Yes, I know. Oh, my wife is very upset that I got the estate next to ours for the Clampetts. Says I don't even know what kind of people they are.
Do you?
I know to the dollar what kind of people they are. They're my kind of people. Loaded. Taylor, have the gardeners got the grounds in order?
Yes, sir. But I'm afraid that's another thing your wife is upset about.
Oh?
Well, you see, your gardeners have been working on their lawn all week. Why, they've mowed it, trimmed it, fed it, clipped it.
I don't care if they lather it and shave it. This is the most beautiful mansion in Beverly Hills. I want every square inch of ground within those walls in apple pie... Oh. Yes? Oh, hello, Margaret. No, dear, I'm very What? Well, good heavens, did you call the police? I'll be right there.
What happened?
The Clampett estate is being invaded by a band of outlaws.
Invaded?
Yes, they're holding the gardeners at gunpoint.
Sure is lucky we come along when we did.
That's the truth. The way they were slipping through that gate, another 5 minutes and that whole darn prison would have been empty. Jethro, you sure that's a prison?
Yeah, Uncle Jed. I seen pictures. Only thing is, how come there ain't no guards on them walls?
Probably done them in with them knives and things.
These killers, if I ever did see any. Fine neighborhood we's moving into.
You hear that? Hot diggity, there's bobcats in these hills.
Them sirens! Somebody's calling the law.
I reckon they's gonna be mighty grateful for what we done. Folks out here has got a strange way of showing they're grateful.
You've locked up one of the richest men in the country. Mr. Clampett, I don't know how to apologize. I'm deeply humiliated. What have you cutthroats done with J.D. Clampett?
I'm Jed Clampett, and I'd appreciate it if you let go of my Sunday shirt.
You're J.D. Clampett, the oil millionaire?
Yep, this here's my nephew, Jethro.
Howdy.
Quickly, man, unlock this cell. Mr. Clampett, on behalf of the entire city of Beverly Hills, I extend our deep and humble apologies for this unfortunate and embarrassing incident. Oh, I'm Milburn Drysdale, president of the Commerce Bank of Beverly Hills. My car is waiting to take you and your family to your new home. We want you to know how happy we are to have you, your handsome nephew, your lovely daughter, and your beautiful money. Mother.
Wait a minute! Stop this car! Mr. Drysdale, you tricked us. You just took us out of jail so you could bring us back up here to prison. Head for the hills, everybody! No, wait! Come back!
Welcome. Welcome.
Howdy. Well, now, ain't that handy?
That, Paul.
Way the road takes a bend in here, runs right by the front door.
No, Mr. Clampett, this is your driveway. It goes with the house.
Is this thing a high?
Oh, yes, indeed. It was built by John Barrymore, one of our finest actors.
Pretty fair stonemason, too.
Well, here we are. I hope you're going to like this place I picked out for you. It may be a trifle larger than what you're used to, but I feel a man with $25 million in my bank should live in a manner that... Come in, this is your home. As I say, it may be a bit more than you're used to, but I'm sure you'll be comfortable. Now, my secretary will be over right away to help you with the hiring of servants or whatever problems you may have. She's a very efficient girl, Miss Hathaway.
Jed? 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 You and Jethro fetching my stove so I can get some victuals to cooking?
Oh, you have a beautiful stove.
Thank you. Fetch it in, Jed. You scare up some wood, Ellie.
No, I mean you have a stove already installed in the kitchen.
Where's that?
I'll show you. Excuse us.
Ellie, you go with Granny. She'll still need you to fetch some wood.
Sure, Paul.
Uncle Jed, guess what? There's a whole nother house up here.
Jethro, come down from there. Like as not, that belongs to somebody else.
This is your kitchen. Oh, and here's the stove. The last word in food preparation. And speaking of food, you'll find everything you could possibly want stored right in here. See? Well, I'll leave you ladies to your culinary delights. Au revoir. Bon appetit.
Talks gibberish.
You set a great deal of store in this here stove, Granny.
Well, we'll see. Ellie, you run out and fetch some wood. I'll get a fire to going in here and we'll see.
Can I be of any assistance?
No, thank you, Mr. Drysdale. We were just talking about Jethro here getting back to school.
Oh, well, we have some excellent educational facilities out here, Mr. Clampett. Where do you go to school, Jethro?
Oxford. Yeah, you see, Jethro's ma, that's my cousin Pearl. She married an Oxford man, so naturally Jethro, he goes to school there, too.
I'm the champion crawdad eater.
At Oxford?
Jethro put away 3 buckets of crawdad.
4.
And he's learned to cipher and everything. Cipher some for Mr. Drysdale.
1 and 1's 2. 2 and 2's 4. 4 and 4's 8. I have to take off my shoes to get any further than that.
Never mind. I'm sure we're thinking of 2 different Oxfords. You see, there's one that's very, very famous and very old.
That's where Jethro goes to school. Been there since pioneer days.
That's how come it got its name. It's where the oxen used to ford the river.
Some folks took to calling it Oxen Ford, and later on it got shortened to Oxford.
Yes, I see. Well, I'll be running. Oh, by the way, here are your keys. My secretary should be over very soon.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Drysdale, for everything you've been doing for us.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Mr. Clampett. You see, I'm not only your banker, I'm your next-door neighbor.
Well, say, now ain't that nice? Well, now, why don't you bring your missus over tonight for supper, and I'll have Granny whomp up a mess of grits and hog jowl.
Well, you see, right now my wife is in Boston.
Well, that's too bad. When'll she be back?
Not too soon, fortunately. I'll see you later.
Well, thank you, Mr. Drysdale. So long.
Paul, could I please have the axe? I gotta split some wood for Granny.
Fetch it, Jethro. Ain't this place got a wood pile?
Not that I could find. But I found a whole row of black old dead tree trunks Pretty near as high as this height.
Are they kind of big for you to tackle?
Well, shucks, no, Pa. They're only this big around, and all trimmed and topped and strung together with the black rope, so as no matter which one you cut, the others keep it from falling.
Somebody had a right smart idea there. Just the same, I think I'd rather have Jethro do the cutting.
Oh, Pa, let me.
Cutting trees and chopping logs ain't no work for a girl.
I'm just as strong as Jethro.
You ain't neither.
I am so.
You ain't neither.
I am so, too. You want to wrestle?
Darn too.
Now, here. That ain't no fair fight. Somebody's gonna get hurt. Now, yeah, you see? You're getting too rough. Jethro. A person can get crippled from a hold like that. Get up from there.
I can't, Uncle Jeff.
You turn him loose and get up from there before I take a strap to the boot. Now, here, you get out there and chop down one of them tree trunks and saw Granny some nice logs.
Yes, sir, Uncle Jeff. Could have whooped you if you hadn't tripped me.
Debbie, come back here and sit down. I want to talk to you.
Whoop them fair and square, and I'll do it again.
You won't. That's what I want to talk to you about. Ellie Mae, you're getting too big to wrestle with boys.
I ain't as big as Jethro.
I mean big that way. I mean, growed up. You're a young lady now. You gotta start minding your manners and fixing yourself up real nice and wearing dresses.
Pa, folks would call me a sis.
Well, it ain't sissy for girls to act like girls. You see, Ellie, I raised you like a boy, and I was wrong to do it. I reckon every man liked to have a son, and you was my only young'un. And when your ma passed away, I just decided to turn you into a boy. By the time Granny come to help out, you was too wild to tame. By thunder, you could outrun, outclimb, outfight, and outshoot every boy in them hills.
I still can, Pa.
It ain't fitting. It ain't right for folks to go against nature. I'll look at old Duke. Reckon we could turn him into a cat.
Of course not.
That's right. Because nature made him into a dog. Just the same way nature made you into a girl. Here lately, she's getting more and more positive about it.
You mean my years is growing?
No, nothing like that. You're pretty.
Oh, Pa.
I know you don't like it when I say that, but you like it when the young fellas around here come in saying it, and they will. Only they'll probably be using words, fancy words I won't even understand. But Ellie Mae, ain't nobody can ever tell you how pretty you really are, except me. You're the living picture of your mom. Andy Wood, all right. Got a lot of pitch and tar in it. Ought to burn real good.
Yeah. That flimsy grate holds up.
Granny, this is the top of that tree trunk. You want I should split it up, too?
No, just leave it outside.
Yes, sir.
This place ain't even got a wood box.
Yeah, folks don't need much wood out here. Remember what Pearl says? It don't get cold.
Yeah, I remember. It might not get cold in the day, but it sure freezes solid at night.
How you know?
I'll show you how I know. Every bit of food in this here storage bin is froze harder than a rock. Yes. Look.
Mighty thin-skinned hog. But I'll be doggone.
Take me 2 days to thaw out that ham before I can ever cook it.
People ought to know better than store food up against the north wall. Tomorrow we'll dig us a root cellar and we put all this stuff in it. Jethro, go on out there and catch us a chicken.
Okay, Uncle Jacob.
How you know we got chickens?
Place this size is bound to have chickens.
They ain't all froze today.
Chick, 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 chick. Are you a chicken?
Here's that bucket. You want it?
You take it, Ellie. See if you can find the creek. I gotta have some water.
You know a pump on this place?
It ain't even got a well.
Uncle Jed.
Yeah, boy. Did you find a chicken?
I found something. I ain't sure if it's a chicken, a goose, a duck, or what.
Where is it?
I couldn't catch it. That thing can outrun a jackrabbit.
There ain't no goose or duck.
Must be a chicken.
If it is, I was right about things growing bigger out here. That thing was this high.
Chicken?
Ah, Jethro.
Honest, it's got legs this long.
Gibby's on the drumstick.
Drumstick ain't much. Whoever gets that neck is eating from now on. Commences here and runs plumb up to here.
Jethro, you ain't forgot what I said about Granny's jug of liquor.
I ain't been at Granny's jug.
You have your in first.
Honest, cross my heart.
Where'd you see this chicken?
Down by the cement pond.
Cement pond.
Uncle Jed, that pond is the fanciest thing you ever did see. Why, they are steps. So's the cattle can walk right down into it and get a drink. And up at one end, there's a lady standing there made out of rock. And she's a pouring water out of a jar right into that cement pond.
Oh.
Well, that's how come that big old pink chicken to get away from me. Flew right over the top of that there rock lady, landed in that pond, and swam like an otter. Just flapping them big old pink wings and hollering.
What color did you say that chicken was?
It's pink.
Ain't I told you that stuff would stunt your growth?
Miss Granny, I didn't touch a drop.
You and me is going to the woodshed.
Jethro, you swear to be telling the truth?
So help me, Jefferson Davis.
Your hat off when you speak of the president.
He ain't president no more.
I'll have no Yankee talk in my kitchen.
Now, Jethro, you and me is going back out there and corner that chicken. Granny, you get your fire to going. Ellie Mae, you sweep up out front and keep your eyes open for that Miss Hathaway. I'm counting on her to take you in hand and get you in the right kind of clothes. Come on.
You there, young man.
I ain't a young man, but I sure do thank you for thinking so.
Good heavens, you're a girl.
Yeah.
I'm Jane Hathaway, executive secretary to Mr. Drysdale. And you, I take it, are a domestic of some sort? Cleaning girl, housemaid? Just what are your duties with Mr. Clampett?
Well, he sent me out here to sweep up, but he said you'd take me in hand and get me in the right kind of clothes and everything.
Indeed, I shall. We have a complete servant's wardrobe from chef to chauffeur. Come with me. What in the name of Thomas Chippendale is this? Has Mr. Clampett seen this disgraceful and unsightly mound of debris?
Oh, yes, ma'am. This is all his.
Oh, what charming antiques.
Just like you said, Jethro, a rock lady pouring water into a cement pond.
Yes, sir. And over there's where I seen that great big pink chicken. Only thing is, it don't sound like a chicken. It makes a kind of hollering noise.
Reckon you'd make a hollering noise, too, if you was to lay egg like that.
Man, oh, man. That's what I call an egg.
And you won't have to worry about food now. Wait till she cooks this. Granny, look at this egg. What's all the smoke?
Stove don't work.
Probably just a stuffed-up flue.
Ain't got a flue. Ain't even got a stovepipe.
Well, I'll get the shovel and a hoe and rake it out of there. Here, you keep this egg.
Just like everything else out here. Froze solid.
Really, my dear, you look quite charming.
Well, I feel like a dead blind fool.
Just a moment.
Yes, sir. Now I'll be right back.
Oh, that was my Pa.
I take it he's a gardener.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Pa just can't wait to commence gardening.
Apparently. However, as though I admire his enthusiasm, I must forbid him access through the main entrance. Now, tell me about the rest of the staff. Is there a chauffeur?
A what?
Someone who does the driving.
Oh, yes, ma'am. That's Jethro. Of course, I don't reckon he can stay around very long. He's got to get back to Oxford and go to school.
Oxford? He attends Oxford University?
Well, he just calls it school. Pa went to school there, too.
Oh, yes. Old school time. Great pride, those Oxford men.
Sorry I couldn't stop before. Granny was having trouble in the kitchen.
Pa, do I have to wear this here stuff that Miss Hathaway...
No, there can be no appeal from Mr. Clampetts' orders.
Thank you, ma'am. Glad to see you taking the firm hand. Ellie Mae, that's right pretty. Makes you look taller.
She's got me walking on pegs.
We'll run in and show Granny.
And get rid of those old clothes, dear. Granny, I presume, is the cook.
Yes, ma'am, but she ain't too happy about it right now.
I shall deal with her directly. Now, let's see. Maid, gardener, cook, chauffeur. Oh, I understand Jethro is an Oxford man.
You bet he is.
I'm quite anxious to meet him.
Don't blame you. Fine-looking young feller. Single, too. And he's on the lookout for a girl.
I am only interested in the intellectual rapport which I would naturally have with an Oxford man. I presume you went to Eton as a boy.
If I know Jethro, he went to Eton the minute he was born.
Yes, of course. I suppose his father matriculated him.
I kind of think maybe it was his ma.
Oh, well, no matter. At any rate, he's an Eton man.
That he is. Matter of fact, Jethro won the Eton championship.
How marvelous. What was he champion of?
Eton.
Yes, I know. But what was it? Cricket?
Oh, no, it was crawdad. I don't think even Jethro'd eat crickets.
I was referring to the game of cricket.
Jed, where's the axe?
I'll bet you, Granny. You talk to Miss Hathaway.
And just why does Cook need an axe?
I've hit this with everything I could lay a hand to. I even whopped it with an iron skillet.
You are supposed to hit it with a croquet mallet.
All right, where is it?
I don't think I'll tell you. There is a time for work and a time for play. Now then, what are we cooking for Mr. Clampett?
Well, I don't know what you're cooking him, but if he wants any victuals from me, somebody better shoot a possum.
Possum?
You got a better idea?
But of course, a nice big fluffy souffle.
All right. You shoot it and you skin it.
You don't even know what a souffle is. What kind of a cook are you?
I'm a cook with a stove that don't draw, food that's froze solid, chickens that can't be caught, eggs that can't be broke, and a smart alecky city woman telling me my business. That's what kind of a cook I am.
Mind your tongue, little woman. I can have your job.
You sure can, and the sooner the better.
Jethro's coming, and just wait till you see what he's got.
Thank heaven. Now I can have an intelligent conversation.
Look, Granny, I got that big chicken.
I hope it ain't as tough as its egg.
That is a flamingo.
Oh, no, ma'am. That's my nephew, Jethro. Jethro, say hello to Miss Hathaway.
Howdy, ma'am. This is the big dangest chicken you ever did see.
You go to school at Oxford?
Yes, ma'am. I'm in the 5th grade.
Stop dragging and wring that chicken's neck. Ellie Mae!
No, stop, you barbarian. Don't harm one feather of that beautiful bird.
I've taken just about as much as I'm going to take from you.
Yeah, Granny.
Ellie, you get the fire going under the big kettle outdoors.
Young lady, where is your maid's uniform?
I ain't going away.
Oh, yes, you are.
No, I ain't.
Oh, yes, you are, if I must subdue you forcefully.
I wouldn't try that. Tried to tell you.
I'll set on her, Ellie. You get the fire to go.
Here, Granny. Come on, let her up. Get off of her.
You are discharged. All of you. That. Fired. You are the most incompetent incompetent, insubordinate, belligerent group of domestics. It has never been my misfortune.
Hathaway!
Ah, Chief, you're just in time to help me take disciplinary action.
You're fired.
I've already told them.
Not them, you. These people are the Clampetts.
Clampett?
Yes, that's right. Now go back to the office and pick up your severance pay. You are through.
Now, Mr. Drysdale, hold on a spell. I reckon there's been a kind of a misunderstanding. But this little lady's been a right big help to us. Why, she fit in just like one of the family. Matter of fact, her and me is going out hunting. Ain't that right, Miss Hathaway?
Yes, and... Yeah. Jethro, you can take that pink chicken back out to the cement pond. We're going out and shoot us a nice, big, fluffy souffle.
Well, Jethro, what have you got to say about that?
I didn't bust it, honest.
He's telling the truth, Mr. Drysdale. It was hanging in pieces like that when we moved in.
Yes, sir.
No, it's supposed to be like that. It was made that way. It's been like that for 200 years.
200 years?
Hey, this house is older than it looks.
Jethro?
Oh, I plumb forgot. Granny wants to see you. Skedaddle.
All right, Uncle Jed.
Nice boy. His ma, my cousin Pearl, gave me the notion to move out here.
Well, I'm most grateful to her. Oh, but first, I wanted to explain about this priceless crystal chandelier. It was designed and made for Louis XV, hung in the Hall of Mirrors at Versailles. Napoleon Bonaparte planned campaigns with the light of that chandelier. Talleyrand used it. Wellington, Disraeli, Bismarck, Wilson.
Mr. Drysdale, we're just plain folk. We don't mind a few things being secondhand. Getting back to my cousin Pearl, she's looking after the old home place for me. You ain't never seen my family home, have you?
No, I haven't, Mr. Clampett.
It's a dandy.
Yes, those southern mansions are beautiful. I suppose it has the large white pillars.
It did, but we bring them along and put them on the beds out here.
No, you see, I was referring to wooden pillars.
Oh, I ain't never slept on one of them. We had everything first class back home. Sure hope Pearl's taking good care of that place.
Hello there.
Oh, why, you're Mr. Brewster from the oil company that paid Cousin Jed all that money for his swamp.
25 million to be exact.
You ain't here to back out, are you?
No, indeed. Your cousin's money is safe in the bank in California. I just thought you'd like to know that I heard from the bank, and your family arrived in Beverly Hills safe and sound.
Oh, that is good news. My son Jethro drove him out, you know.
Yes, I know he did. Oh, I have something here from the bank. I think you'll enjoy it.
For me?
They told me at your house I'd find you here.
Yeah, well, I promised Cousin Jed I'd keep an eye on the old home place for him. It's a long trip from my house, but I'm glad to do it for Jed.
That's nice of you.
Yeah, well, you know, can I help you look for that money?
What is the money? It's pictures of the estate that Mr. Drysdale, as president of the bank, purchased for him in Beverly Hills.
Oh.
Now, this is now the Jed Clampett estate.
Land to mercy, look at that. Why, it's bigger than the state capitol.
Quite a change from this place, all right.
What in the world is that?
Oh, that's the swimming pool.
Swimming pool?
Yes, quite ornate.
Oh, my son Jethro's gonna like that.
Granny, when we's done washing, can I go swimming here in the cement pond?
Of course not. I don't allow nobody splashed around in my wash water.
Ain't there no place else you can wash?
This cement pond's the only water we got. Place ain't got a well, it ain't got a creek. Ain't even got a rain barrel to catch what comes out of the sky.
Oh, when that banker fella seen me unloading your wash tub and scrubbing board, he said, why, you can throw that away. We don't use them things here in Beverly Hills.
Now, you listen here to me, boy. I don't care how other folks live in Beverly Hills, but us Clampetts is gonna be clean.
Yes, ma'am.
May not have it as nice as we had it back home in the cabin. Right in the house and everything. But we ain't gonna lower our standards.
No, ma'am.
Here, wrench these things out for me. We gotta get this tub back to the kitchen for Ellie's dad. Yep. Being clean is a strict rule with your Uncle Jed. Let me look you over. Many's the time we've been down to our last piece of fat. I'd say, shall I cook it to eat it, or shall I render it down for soap? He'd say no. Render it down for soap, Granny. The Lord will feed us poor folks, but we gotta do our own washing.
But Uncle Jed ain't poor now, Granny. He got $25 million.
How long do you think that's gonna last if we go throwing it away on store-bought soap? Waste not, want not.
Now, here's a view of the entrance hall.
My stars and garters. Why, it's a palace. Whoever would have thought that my cousin Jed would be living in an estate like this?
Well, the credit is yours. You're the one who talked him into moving.
Oh, well, I put the notion in his head. But it was really kind of Ellie Mae went.
Yes, his daughter will have a wonderful life as a Beverly Hills debutante. Can't you just see that beautiful girl descending this magnificent stairway?
I sure can.
Ellie Mae, I don't reckon that's the way a young lady comes down the steps in Beverly Hills, is it, Mr. Drysdale?
Oh, not as a rule, no.
Oh, I can come down the other way. Watch this. How's that?
Well, that's not exactly what I had in mind.
Well, show me.
No, my secretary will show you. Oh, she's in town doing some shopping for you.
Oh, what's she getting me?
Well, now, that's going to be a surprise, Ellie, but it's some things you've been a-needing, and they're going to be pretty, and you're going to like them.
Things I've been a-needing? A set of muskrat traps. A three-blade frog sticker?
Nope.
A ready-made slingshot.
Now, Ellie, you way off the track. Now, you wait till Miss Hathaway gets here, and you'll see.
Yes. Well, I'll be pushing along to the bank.
This mansion of his has 32 rooms and 14 baths.
14 bathrooms?
Yes.
A sunken marble bathtub. I can just see Ellie Mae having herself a bubble bath in there. I tell you, Mr. Brewster, the more I see of these pictures, the more I want to get out there and help Cousin Jed. Of course, I wouldn't go without being asked.
Well, naturally. But, you know, I think you should go.
I've been asked.
Well, now, it's not exactly my province. Well, why don't you telephone your cousin and talk to him?
Oh, why, there ain't a telephone within 40 miles of this place. Nearest one, I guess, is at the International Emporium, clean over to Oxford.
Well, I'll be happy to drive you over there.
Oh, I couldn't let you drive me all that way just to use telephone. Busy oil company man like you. That's 40 miles.
There's no trip at all in this car.
No, I couldn't do it. Why, folks would see me riding in this big, shiny car with a tall, good-looking city fella. Why, sure as the world, they'd think that... Let's go.
Well, what about your horse and buggy?
Oh, just untie Bessie. You go on home.
And here's Miss Hathaway.
Mon capitaine, je suis l'état.
Fine. Ready for Ellie Mae?
Gentlemen, aided and abetted by the gossamer garments, exotic lotions, and other feminine appurtenances within these cartons, I am ready to assume the role of Pygmalion and transform that barefoot Galatea into a striking and sophisticated paragon of Beverly Hills literature.
That's yes the hard way. Well, duty calls. I leave you in capable hands. Goodbye, Mr. Clampett.
Thank you, sir.
Chief?
Well, that sure is neighborly of you, Miss Hathaway. You reckon you can handle Ellie Mae?
Uncle Jed, Granny says... Oh, howdy, Miss Hathaway.
Oh, bonjour, Jethro.
Here are them things in for Miss Hathaway, Jethro. I think she kind of likes you, boy.
She does? Well, I can't take them into the house. That's what I come out here to tell you. Granny says that all the men folks got to stay out of the house while Ella Mae's taking her bath.
Oh.
But isn't Ellie Mae bathing in the privacy of her own bedroom suite?
Hear what she called you? Sweet.
What's the matter with him? Why doesn't he answer?
Hey, he's just a little shy, I reckon. Ask him again.
Is Ellie Mae in her bedroom suite?
No, she ain't, darling.
Never mind, I'll find her myself.
Uncle Jed, I got me a girl.
You sure have, boy, and a city girl, too.
Some city girls I were about. Jesso's such a good-looking boy. Every girl in the 5th grade was after him.
I hardly think anything serious can develop between boys and girls in the 5th grade.
Oh, I don't know. So far this year, there's been 3 couples out of Jethro's class get married.
Married? 5th grader?
Parson's nearly as busy in that school as the teacher.
That's amazing. Oh, I've heard of...
Uh-oh, wouldn't you know it? There's that Snoopy Alverna Bradshaw and her big-mouthed daughter sitting on my front porch. Oh, I can just hear the stories they'll start going around if they see me in this car here with you. Yoo-hoo! Alverna! It's me! Pearl! Terrible gossip, that woman, always making trouble. She tried to talk Granny out of going to California. She ought to see Granny now. Living like a queen in that Beverly Hills mansion.
I should have listened to Alverna Bradshaw and stayed home. We had a pump right in the house. Didn't have to tote water a quarter of a mile. You ready to get rinsed off, Ellie?
Well, not yet, Granny. Should have washed my hair.
No. You better wait till I can catch some rainwater. That pond water smells like it's got medicine in it.
I wondered why there's no fish in that pond.
Yeah. I reckon that water killed them fish. Don't you worry. My lye soap will kill anything that killed them fish.
Have you seen... What in the world's going on here?
Well, there's a bath going on. That's what's going on.
Howdy.
But I don't understand.
Well, then somebody ought to explain it to you, city woman. You see, first you heat some water. Then you put it in a great big tub like this. You put some soap in it, and then you get in it, and you start to wash, and that's what you call a bath.
Granny, you don't have to do this sort of thing in Beverly Hills.
Don't you listen to her, Ellie. Ain't you ever heard that saying that cleanness is next to godliness?
But of course, John Wesley said that.
And I bet he didn't live in Beverly Hills. Here, Ellie, dry yourself off with this nice big bath towel. That's my girl. I'll rinse off that old lye soap.
Lye soap. Did you say lye soap?
That's right. I make it myself.
But that will ruin this beautiful girl's delicate skin.
I've been washing with it for 72 years. Look at my skin.
It's like leather.
Yeah. Nice, ain't it?
Granny, I hope you will forgive my momentary bewilderment at this primitive form of ablution, but please let me explain.
Well, first explain what you just said.
Well, Ellie Mae has a beautiful big bathtub upstairs.
Upstairs? It was hard enough carrying the water in here. I ain't going to tote no water upstairs.
You don't have to. There's a big, beautiful... Haven't you been upstairs?
No. Jed said that probably belonged to somebody else. Ain't that right, Ellie?
Yeah. Paul said he heard tell that folks sometimes live one family right on top of another.
But that's only in apartment houses. This entire house belongs to you. And each one has his own individual bedroom suite. Come along and let me show you. And also the lovely things I brought from town.
Yeah, you go ahead. I'll be up directly.
What all'd you bring from town?
Everything, Ellie. Everything from chapeau to pumps.
Pumps! Praise the Lord. Now I won't have to tote water.
Jethro? Yeah, Uncle Jed? Now, you're going to be keeping company with a girl. Is there any questions you like to ask me?
What kind of question?
Oh, about girls. How much you know about girls?
They softer than boys.
Yeah, I reckon. Generally speaking.
And they shorter and rounder.
Yeah?
And the hair's longer and it smells sweet when you snuggles up to 'em.
Oh, so you've been doing some snuggling, have you?
I done more than that.
Yeah, I reckon you better tell me about it. Who was she?
Prettiest girl in the hills. Big Mouth Bradshaw.
Old Verner's girl. I hear tell she's kind of fast.
Is she ever? Uncle Jed, I was walking past the cabin, and Big Mouth, she calls out the window to me. She says, "Howdy, Jethro." She says, "My ma's just made a big batch of cookies. Come on in and have some." And I says, "Sure your ma won't mind?" And she says, "Ma's gone, and so's Pa. I'm here all alone." Well, Uncle Jed, I was in that house before you could wink an eye.
Can't say as I blame you.
Well, no sooner was I inside, the Big Mouth, she puts a music record on the phonograph machine and commences to sashaying around, a twisting and a turning.
Dancing.
Yeah, I reckon so. Anyway, she says, "Put your arms around me, Jethro, and I'll teach you the two-step."
What'd you say?
I says, "Listen, Big Mouth," I says, "here we are all alone. Your ma and your pa gone, and you think that I'm going to waste my time dancing?" I says, "Not me, sister. Bring on them cookies."
What'd she say?
Well,
Jed, you and Jethro can start digging the well. That city woman brought us some pumps.
That's fine, Granny. We'll get right to it. What'd that Bradshaw girl say when you said bring on them cookies?
well, she just held up them cookies like this here, kind of blinked her eyes at me, and said, "Jethro, which do you think it tastes sweeter, these here cookies or my lips?" Well, Uncle Jed, right then and there's when I found out she was fast. I grabbed them 2 cookies, and it took me 2 miles to outrun that gal.
Jethro, on one of these days, you and me's got to have a long talk.
I ought to be out there looking after Jethro. You know Jed's gonna need him to help garden a place this big.
Well, most Beverly Hills mansions have regular gardeners. And, of course, a complete sprinkling system.
Sprinkling system.
Oh, yes, indeed. That entire lawn is crisscrossed with underground pipes.
Land to mercy.
Why, thunder, Jethro, there's water all over this property. Ain't too deep, neither.
I know. Should I commence to digging?
Well, now, let's get as close to the house as we can. That way the pump won't have so far to pull.
Clampetts? Jethro?
Oh, here comes your sweetheart.
It's Clampett. I cannot handle that daughter of yours.
What happened?
I opened that box of beautiful clothes, turned my back for a moment, and she bolted like a wild colt.
I was afraid this would happen. Where is she?
She's up there.
I'll go right up and talk to her.
Jethro, have you been upstairs yet?
No, ma'am.
Then you've got a surprise coming to you.
What is it?
Your sweets.
So are you.
No.
Oh, howdy, Pop.
Ellie, I'm ashamed of you. Running off from Miss Hathaway.
I didn't run away from Miss Hathaway.
What'd you climb up here for?
To cut a fork for that new store-bought slingshot she brought.
Did she bring you a slingshot?
Fanciest thing you ever did see. Just a minute, I'll hook it up and you can see for yourself. Look at that.
Doggone. A store-bought, lace-trimmed, double-barrel slingshot.
Ain't it a doozy? I don't know how good I can aim it, but it'll sure throw a heap of rocks.
I tell you, Granny, there's so much water here, you could shoot a load of buckshot in that ground and bring up a dozen springs.
I'll be right back.
Part 4: Ellie Mae's Wild Spirit, Tomboy Charm and Feminine Awakening. Among the many delightful characters who populate the world of the Beverly Hillbillies, few capture the imagination quite like Ellie Mae Clampett. In Part 4 of this magnificent pilot episode, the script turns its affectionate gaze toward Jed's only daughter, presenting her as a whirlwind of untamed energy, physical prowess and emerging feminine grace. Ellie Mae embodies the perfect embodiment of the fish-out-of-water comedy that defines the series, while also offering one of its most tender explorations of identity growing up and the gentle tension between nature and nurture. Her wild spirit serves as both a source of riotous comedy and a touching symbol of youthful vitality confronting the call of womanhood. From the very first scene, Ellie Mae bursts onto the screen with irrepressible life. We learn she has been fighting a bobcat, an encounter that left the unfortunate creature limping away on 3 legs. This single detail instantly paints her as no ordinary young woman. She is strong, fearless and completely at home in the rugged Tennessee hills. Granny's complaints about her tomboy ways are delivered with classic curmudgeonly affection, noting how Ellie Mae has once again popped the buttons off her shirt. The implication is clear and handled with wonderfully innocent humor. Ellie Mae is fully grown-up, rounded-out female woman, as Granny puts it, yet she still runs wild in man's clothing, wrestling, hunting and carrying herself with proud, thrown-back shoulders. What makes Ellie Mae so special is that her wildness is never portrayed as a flaw to be ridiculed. Instead, the script celebrates her vitality. She is capable, resourceful and fiercely independent. When she captures a stranger by beating him with a rock thinking he might be a revenuer, we see both her protective instincts and her literal approach to problem-solving. Later, her attempts to help around the new mansion reveal the same enthusiastic physical approach to life. Whether she is climbing trees chasing a giant pink chicken which turns out to be a flamingo or wrestling with her cousin Jethro, Ellie Mae attacks life with the full force of her considerable strength and spirit. The heart of this section belongs to the tender, beautifully written conversation between Jed and Ellie Mae. After she wrestles Jethro to the ground in a display of raw power, Jed sits her down for a serious talk. With fatherly wisdom and gentle love, he tells her she is getting too big to wrestle with boys. He acknowledges that he raised her like a son after her mother passed away, turning her into a capable hunter, climber, fighter and shooter who could outdo any boy in the hills. This confession is deeply moving. Jed admits he was wrong to do so, not because her abilities are unworthy but because nature has made her a girl just as surely as it made Duke the dog instead of a cat. The analogy is simple, profound and delivered with perfect hillbilly poetry. Jed's words to his daughter rank among the most touching father-daughter moments in classic television. He tells her she is pretty, the living picture of your mom, and that one day the young fellows will come courting with fancy words she might not even understand. There is no shame in her tomboy past, only a loving recognition that she is entering a new season of life. Ellie Mae's reaction is equally charming. She blushes at the compliment but protests that folks would call her a sissy if she started wearing dresses and acting like a lady. Jed's patient reassurance that it is not sissy for girls to act like girls forms the emotional core of her character arc in the pilot. This scene masterfully balances humor with genuine sentiment. Ellie Mae's wild spirit is not something to be extinguished but gently guided. The script never suggests she must abandon her strength and love of the outdoors. Rather, it proposes a harmonious integration of her natural vitality with emerging femininity. This nuanced approach was remarkably progressive for its time and remains deeply appealing today. Ellie Mae represents every young woman who has felt caught between societal expectations and her authentic self. Her adventures in the new Beverly Hills mansion further highlight this wonderful duality. When Miss Hathaway arrives with beautiful clothes intended to transform her into a proper Beverly Hills debutante, Ellie Mae's reaction is pure unfiltered rebellion. She bolts like a wild colt climbing a tree to fashion a new slingshot fork rather than submit to lace and refinement. The image of this beautiful young woman in elegant new attire sitting high in a tree perfectly captures her internal conflict. She is drawn to pretty things on some level, yet her instincts pull her back toward the freedom and simplicity she has always known. The cement pond sequence also provides wonderful opportunities to showcase Ellie Mae's character. While Granny stubbornly washes clothes in a tub the old-fashioned way, Ellie Mae's curiosity and adaptability shine through. She is the bridge generation, wild enough to appreciate the old ways yet young enough to eventually embrace some of the new wonders surrounding them. Her innocent confusion about the swimming pool, the rock lady statue, and the pink flamingo adds layers of delightful comedy while keeping her grounded in mountain logic. What elevates Ellie Mae beyond mere comic relief is the visible tenderness in her relationship with her father. Jed's love for her is profound and protective without being smothering. He sees both the rough and tumble girl who can outshoot any boy and the beautiful young woman beginning to blossom. His gentle guidance never diminishes her spirit. Instead, it honors her strength while inviting her to explore new dimensions of herself. This fatherly wisdom stands in beautiful contrast to the more frantic status-seeking attitudes of characters like Cousin Pearl or Mr. Drysdale. The script also uses Ellie Mae to explore broader themes of authenticity versus societal pressure. In the polished world of Beverly Hills with its debutante's fancy clothes and social expectations, her wild spirit becomes both a challenge and a refreshing antidote to pretension. She refuses to be easily civilized, yet there are subtle hints that she may eventually find her own unique way to blend her mountain roots with her new environment. This tension creates endless comedic possibilities while giving her character genuine depth. Miss Hathaway's attempts to dress and refine Ellie Mae provide some of the episode's funniest moments. The contrast between the efficient, sophisticated secretary and the completely uninhibited Ellie Mae is comedy gold. Yet even in these clashes there is warmth and eventual mutual respect. Ellie Mae's unspoiled nature ultimately wins people over just as it wins over the audience. Her charm lies precisely in her refusal to pretend to be something she is not. Throughout the pilot, Ellie Mae's physical comedy is executed with remarkable skill. Whether wrestling Jethro, chasing flamingos, climbing trees, or popping buttons, due to her developing figure, she brings an infectious energy to every scene. Yet, beneath the slapstick lies a character of surprising emotional richness. She is loyal, loving, strong, and beginning to awaken to her own beauty and womanhood. The script handles this awakening with remarkable sensitivity and humor, never descending into cheap exploitation or mockery. By the end of this section, Ellie Mae has been firmly established as one of the series' greatest assets. She is the bridge between the old mountain life and the new California adventure. Her wild spirit provides constant comedic energy while her emerging feminine grace offers touching moments of growth and self-discovery. She represents the universal experience of coming of age, of honoring where you came from while bravely stepping into who you are meant to become. The writer's affection for Ellie Mae is evident in every line. They celebrate her strength, her innocence, her loyalty to family, and her untamed joy in the natural world. In doing so, they created a character who would capture hearts across generations. She is beautiful without vanity, strong without aggression, and wild without being reckless. She is, in short, the perfect hillbilly heroine for this perfect hillbilly comedy. As the Clampetts settle into their Beverly Hills mansion, Ellie Mae's journey of self-discovery promises to be every bit as entertaining as the culture clashes surrounding her. Whether she is wrangling flamingos, wrestling suitors, or eventually learning to navigate high society on her own terms, her wild spirit will remain one of the show's greatest delights. In a world increasingly filled with artificial sophistication, Ellie Mae Clampett stands as a refreshing reminder that sometimes the most beautiful things are those that refuse to be tamed. Her story in this pilot episode is only beginning, but already, we sense she will become one of television's most beloved daughters, a girl who can out-wrestle a boy charm, a banker, and still make her father's heart swell with pride. That combination of tomboy charm and feminine awakening is pure comedic and emotional gold. In the grand ensemble of the Beverly Hillbillies, few characters deliver such consistent, endearing comedy as Jethro Bodine. Part 5 of this beloved pilot episode shines a warm spotlight on the lovable overgrown nephew whose combination of enormous physical size, childlike enthusiasm, and spectacularly simple reasoning earns him the ironic title of possessing a giant brain. Through Jethro, the script offers one of its purest celebrations of innocence, literal-minded hillbilly logic and the joy of unpretentious helpfulness. He serves as both a magnificent source of physical and verbal comedy and a heartwarming reminder that sometimes the wisest souls are those who see the world in its most straightforward terms. Jethro first appears in a cloud of dust and broken brakes as he and his mother cousin Pearl arrive at the Clampett cabin. The image is instantly iconic, a massive young man behind the wheel of an old truck accidentally smashing into the chicken house while trying to stop. His mother's exasperated scolding about the worn-out brakes is met with Jethro's cheerful explanation that getting rid of the brakes is exactly what he did. This early moment perfectly establishes his character. The compliment, he is eager to please, physically powerful and operating on a wavelength all his own. Rather than being frustrated by his bungling, the family accepts him with fond exasperation. Jed simply asks him to lift the chicken house back onto its foundation, a task Jethro performs with casual strength, highlighting his role as the family's gentle giant. The genius of Jethro lies in the delightful contrast between his imposing frame and his remarkably simple mind. He is described as overgrown for good reason. Towering over the rest of the family, he possesses the body of a man and the enthusiastic wonder of a boy. This contrast fuels much of the episode's humor. When the family discusses moving to California because things grow twice as big out there, Jethro's eyes light up at the prospect of becoming an even bigger whopper. His literal interpretation of every new idea provides an endless well of comedy. Whether pondering Smogs as small hogs alongside Granny or imagining Beverly Hills as actual impressive hills, comparing them unfavorably to the ridges made by moles back home, Jethro's mind works with beautiful, unfiltered directness. One of the episode's most hilarious sequences involves Jethro's academic achievements. When Mr. Drysdale inquires about schooling, Jethro proudly announces that he attends Oxford. The banker is momentarily impressed until the truth emerges. Jethro is in the 5th grade at a one-room schoolhouse that the locals call Oxford because oxen used to ford the river nearby. Jethro's demonstration of his mathematical prowess is comedy perfection. With great concentration, he declares that 1 and 1 is 2, 2 and 2 is 4, 4 and 4 is 8, before admitting he must remove his shoes for more complicated problems. This scene masterfully captures the charm of hillbilly education and Jethro's earnest pride in his limited but hard-won knowledge. He is not ashamed of his simplicity. On the contrary, he carries it with the same straightforward confidence he applies to everything else. Jethro's giant brain extends to his unique problem-solving abilities. When asked to chop wood for Granny's stove in the new mansion, he discovers a row of black old dead tree trunks strung together with black rope. These turn out to be telephone poles, but in Jethro's mind they are simply convenient pre-trimmed logs ready for the taking. His literal approach to every task creates constant delightful chaos. Whether trying to corner a flamingo he believes is a giant pink chicken, or enthusiastically offering to dig a well because the city woman brought pumps, Jethro attacks each challenge with maximum effort and minimum understanding of the modern world. His mistakes never stem from laziness or malice but from an earnest desire to be useful. The script uses Jethro beautifully to explore the theme of authentic simplicity versus worldly sophistication. In Beverly Hills, surrounded by bankers, secretaries and marble mansions, Jethro's unspoiled nature shines like a beacon. He is never intimidated by wealth or status. To him, a $25 million fortune simply means more room to help his family and perhaps bigger helpings of food. His enthusiasm for the move is pure and uncomplicated. While Granny resists and Jed contemplates thoughtfully, Jethro is ready to load the truck and head west with childlike excitement. This uncomplicated joy provides emotional balance to the family's more complex reactions. Particularly charming is Jethro's interaction with Miss Jane Hathaway. When she arrives to help civilize the family, Jethro becomes instantly smitten in his own innocent way. His shyness around girls is revealed through a hilarious story he tells Uncle Jed about his encounter with Big Mouth Bradshaw. The tale, involving cookies, dancing and a 2-mile chase, showcases Jethro's complete lack of guile. He is not interested in romantic games or sophistication. When the girl offers a choice between cookies and her lips, Jethro chooses the cookies and runs a decision that perfectly encapsulates his priorities and straightforward logic. Jed's gentle promise of a future long talk about girls hints at Jethro's ongoing education in matters of the heart. Jethro's relationship with Ellie Mae adds another warm layer to his character. The two cousins share a playful competitive sibling-like bond. Their wrestling match interrupted by Jed reveals both Jethro's physical strength and his good-natured acceptance when bested. He respects Ellie Mae's abilities even as he teases her. Their partnership in exploring the new mansion, chasing flamingos, discovering the cement pond, and attempting various chores creates some of the episode's most energetic and joyful moments. Together, they represent the younger generation of the Clampett clan, bringing vitality and curiosity to the California adventure. What makes Jethro truly unforgettable is his unwavering loyalty and helpfulness. Despite his limited understanding, he is always the first to volunteer for any task. He drives the family across the country, offers to lift heavy objects, chops wood or at least attempts to, and stands ready to protect and assist his kin. His dim-witted enthusiasm never diminishes his value to the family. In fact, it enhances it. The Clampetts love him exactly as he is. Jed treats him with patient guidance, Granny with fond scolding, and Ellie Mae with playful camaraderie. In Jethro, the show celebrates the idea that intelligence comes in many forms and that a kind heart and willing hands often matter more than book learning. The giant brain irony reaches its peak in conversations with sophisticated characters like Mr. Drysdale and Miss Hathaway. Their polite attempts to navigate Jethro's unique logic produce some of the episode's sharpest comedic exchanges. When he proudly mentions being the champion crawdad eater at Oxford or explains the etymology of the school's name through oxen fording rivers, the outsiders are left momentarily speechless. Yet Jethro remains completely unfazed. His confidence in his own understanding of the world is rock solid, providing a refreshing contrast to the pretensions of Beverly Hills society. Through Jethro, the writers make a gentle but powerful statement about the value of simplicity. In a world increasingly obsessed with status, education, and sophistication, Jethro reminds us of the virtues of honesty, enthusiasm, and straightforward thinking. His misunderstandings are never mean-spirited jokes at his expense. Rather, they invite the audience to smile with him and appreciate the clarity of vision that comes from seeing the world without layers of pretense. His logic may be hillbilly, but it is refreshingly free of cynicism or guile. As the Clampetts settle into their new life, Jethro's character promises to be an endless source of comedy and warmth. Whether he is attempting to become a brain surgeon as he later dreams in the series, driving fancy cars with the same enthusiasm he drove the old truck, or continuing to apply mountain logic to Beverly Hills problems, he will remain the lovable heart of the family's adventures. His giant frame and even bigger heart make him impossible not to root for. In Jethro Bodine, the Beverly Hillbillies created one of television's most enduring comic figures. He is not clever in the conventional sense, yet his simplicity often reveals deeper truths about human nature. He approaches every new experience with wonder, every challenge with willingness, and every family member with loyalty. In the polished, often artificial world of Beverly Hills, Jethro's unspoiled hillbilly spirit stands as a testament to the show's core message. True worth lies not in sophistication or wealth, but in character, kindness, and the courage to remain authentically yourself. The giant brain may compute slowly, but it computes with pure intentions and abundant joy. That combination makes Jethro not just funny but genuinely beloved. As the Clampetts begin their California chapter, we know that whatever adventures, misunderstandings, or triumphs await, Jethro will face them with the same enthusiastic, straightforward, and utterly charming approach that has already won our hearts in this magnificent pilot episode. The long journey from the misty Tennessee hills to the sun-drenched streets of Beverly Hills reaches its climax in one of the most gloriously chaotic sequences in the history of situational comedy. Part 6 of the pilot episode of the Beverly Hillbillies captures the Clampett family's first breathtaking encounter with their new home, transforming what should be a moment of triumphant arrival into an uproarious masterpiece of misunderstanding, cultural collision, and pure comedic brilliance. As the family's battered truck rolls past the famous sign, the contrast between their humble mountain expectations and the polished reality of Southern California wealth explodes in spectacular fashion, setting the tone for everything that will follow in this legendary series. The arrival sequence begins with innocent wonder as the Clampetts spot the sign for Beverly Hills. Their reaction is quintessentially hillbilly. Granny remains skeptical, while Jethro notes that the hills here seem rather modest compared to the ridges pushed up by moles back home. Jed, ever the calm patriarch, maintains his quiet dignity even as the family enters this strange new world. This moment beautifully encapsulates the entire premise of the show: honest, unpretentious people suddenly thrust into an environment of extreme sophistication and wealth. The writers handle this transition with perfect timing, allowing the audience to feel both the excitement and the bewilderment alongside the family. What follows is comedic genius of the highest order. The Clampetts pull up to their magnificent new mansion, a sprawling estate once owned by John Barrymore, and immediately misinterpret its grand iron gates and high walls as those of a prison. This misunderstanding is not merely a throwaway gag, it serves as the perfect metaphor for their entire experience in Beverly Hills. To the Clampetts, with their background of open hills and simple living, anything enclosed by high walls and fancy gates must be some form of incarceration. Their literal interpretation of their surroundings creates an immediate and hilarious culture clash that will define their adventures for years to come. The chaos truly erupts when they spot the gardeners working on the grounds. Convinced that these men are prisoners being held against their will, the Clampetts spring into action with mountain justice. Jed and Jethro, ever ready to help those in need, decide to liberate what they believe are innocent men trapped behind bars. Guns are drawn, the gardeners are held at gunpoint, and the Clampetts proudly declare themselves rescuers. This scene is executed with impeccable comic timing. The bewildered gardeners, simply trying to maintain the pristine lawn of one of Beverly Hills' finest estates, find themselves in the middle of what appears to be a hillbilly jailbreak. The contrast between the Clampetts' earnest heroism and the gardeners' utter confusion produces some of the episode's biggest laughs. The misunderstanding escalates delightfully when the police are called. Mr. Drysdale, the ambitious banker who has just secured the Clampett account, receives a frantic report that his newest clients, the owners of the estate next to his own, are leading an armed takeover. His panic is palpable and hilarious. Drysdale has staked his professional reputation and personal social standing on these new millionaires, and now it appears they are criminals holding gardeners hostage. This sequence brilliantly skewers the pretensions of Beverly Hills high society while celebrating the Clampetts' straightforward moral code. To Jed and his family, helping people they believe are oppressed is simply the right thing to do. Their intentions are pure, even if their understanding of the situation is completely backwards. When Mr. Drysdale finally arrives on the scene, the comedy reaches its peak. His mortified attempts to explain the situation to the Clampetts while simultaneously apologizing to the police and the gardeners showcase his character perfectly. Drysdale is ambitious, money-conscious, and deeply concerned with appearances, making him the ideal foil for the unpretentious Clampetts. His humiliation is complete as he realizes that the richest new client in his bank's history has mistaken the most beautiful mansion in Beverly Hills for a prison. Yet even in this embarrassing moment, Drysdale shows the first glimpses of his complicated relationship with the Clampetts. He recognizes their immense wealth and is determined to keep them happy no matter how chaotic they may be. Jed Clampett's calm demeanor throughout this entire fiasco is masterful. Even when confronted by police and a frantic banker, he maintains his quiet dignity and honest confusion. When Drysdale finally explains that this is their new home, Jed's polite skepticism and eventual acceptance demonstrate his steady leadership. He is not easily impressed by wealth or status, but he is always willing to listen and learn. This quality makes him not only a wonderful comic protagonist but also a moral center that grounds the show's wilder moments. Granny's reactions during the arrival add another rich layer of comedy and character insight. Her suspicion of the entire situation reinforces her earlier reluctance to leave the mountains. To her, this grand estate with its high walls only confirms her fears about the strange new world they have entered. Yet even she cannot help but be somewhat awed by the sheer scale of the mansion. Her feisty commentary provides a running counterpoint to the chaos, reminding everyone, including the audience, of the traditional values the family carries with them. Ellie Mae and Jethro, as the younger generation, throw themselves into the excitement with characteristic enthusiasm. Jethro's physical presence and literal interpretations amplify every misunderstanding, while Ellie Mae's wild spirit makes her perfectly at home in the role of rescuer. Their energy keeps the sequence bubbling with vitality and youthful exuberance even as the adults attempt to sort out the confusion. The prison misunderstanding serves a deeper thematic purpose beyond the laughs. It highlights the vast gulf between the Clampetts' lived experience and the world of Beverly Hills. In the hills, strength and direct action were often necessary for survival and justice. In Beverly Hills, appearances, social norms and subtle understandings rule. The Clampetts' inability to immediately grasp these unwritten rules creates not only comedy but also a gentle social satire. The show never suggests that the mountain way is inferior. Rather, it celebrates how their honesty and willingness to help others cut through the artificiality of high society. Mr. Drysdale's elaborate apologies and red carpet treatment following the incident further develop his character. He is torn between genuine embarrassment and calculated delight at having secured such wealthy clients. His determination to smooth over the situation reveals both his snobbery and his growing realization that the Clampetts may bring more chaos than he bargained for. This complicated dynamic between Drysdale and the Clampetts will become one of the series' greatest comic engines, and it is established with wonderful efficiency in this arrival sequence. The visual and verbal comedy in this part is exceptional. The grand mansion with its sweeping driveway, ornate architecture and perfectly manicured grounds stands in hilarious contrast to the Clampetts' old cabin. Every detail from the iron gates to the uniformed staff is misinterpreted through the lens of mountain logic. When Drysdale proudly shows them the estate and mentions it was built by John Barrymore, the family's innocent responses reveal both their charm and their complete disconnection from Hollywood sophistication. Jed's comment about Barrymore being a pretty fair stonemason is a perfect example of the show's gentle, affectionate humor. As the chaos begins to subside and the family starts to accept that this palatial home is indeed theirs, we feel a wonderful mixture of relief and anticipation. The prison misunderstanding has served its purpose magnificently. It has introduced the central comic conflict, deepened our affection for the Clampetts, and established the tone for all future adventures. The family has arrived not just physically but symbolically. They have brought their mountain values, their honesty, their strength, and their delightful misunderstandings into the heart of Beverly Hills. This sequence also masterfully sets up future relationships. Miss Hathaway's impending arrival is teased. Granny's ongoing resistance is reinforced, and Drysdale's love-hate relationship with his new clients is firmly established. Most importantly, the audience is left with an even deeper investment in these characters. We have seen them at their most confused and most well-intentioned, and we love them all the more for it. The arrival in Beverly Hills, with all its glorious misunderstandings, stands as a masterclass in fish-out-of-water comedy. It takes the cultural contrast that was carefully built in the earlier scenes and detonates it in spectacular fashion. Through the prison misunderstanding, the writers achieve something remarkable. They make us laugh uproariously while simultaneously warming our hearts and celebrating the Clampetts' essential goodness. In a mansion built for Hollywood royalty, it is these simple, honest mountain folk who emerge as the true stars. As the dust settles on this chaotic first day, the stage is perfectly prepared for the next wave of adventures. The Clampetts are home, or at least in their new mansion, and Beverly Hills will never be the same again. The prison that wasn't a prison has welcomed its newest and most unconventional residents, and the real fun is only just beginning. The grand iron gates swing open and the Clampett family crosses the threshold into a world that could not be more different from their humble mountain cabin. Part 7 of the pilot episode of the Beverly Hillbillies masterfully explores the family's first tentative steps inside their opulent new Beverly Hills mansion, turning what might have been a simple house tour into a rich, layered examination of culture, shock, awe, confusion, and the steadfast preservation of identity in the face of overwhelming luxury. This sequence stands as one of the episode's most satisfying and thematically profound sections, showcasing the writer's brilliance in balancing visual comedy, character revelation, and gentle social observation. As Mr. Drysdale proudly escorts the family into their new home, the contrast hits with delightful force. The mansion, once owned by the legendary actor John Barrymore, is a sprawling masterpiece of old Hollywood glamour: high ceilings, crystal chandeliers, marble floors, and rooms filled with elegant furnishings that speak of generations of wealth and sophistication. To the Clampetts, however, it initially feels less like a dream home and more like an alien landscape. Jed's calm, measured reaction sets the tone for the entire family. He remains polite and appreciative but never overwhelmed, treating the mansion with the same quiet dignity he showed back in the hills. His first concern is practical, making sure there is enough room for all his kinfolk to visit. This simple request reveals volumes about Jed Clampett's character. Even with $25 million and a palace at his disposal, his thoughts turn first to family and hospitality. The culture shock begins in earnest as the family explores the vast interior. Jethro excitedly announces that there appears to be a whole another house up here, mistaking the second floor for an entirely separate residence. This literal interpretation sparks immediate laughter and perfectly captures the hillbilly logic that will fuel so much future comedy. Ellie Mae Ever the adventurer climbs elements of the architecture with the same ease she once scaled trees back home. Granny, still deeply skeptical of the entire endeavor, eyes every elegant fixture with suspicion. To her, such grandeur seems wasteful and unnatural, compared to the honest simplicity of their mountain cabin. One of the most charming and revealing moments occurs when Granny demands that Jed and Jethro fetch her beloved wood stove from the truck. Despite standing in a kitchen equipped with the latest modern appliances, Granny insists on cooking with the stove she knows and trusts. This insistence is not mere stubbornness. It represents her determination to carry the heart of their old life into this new world. The writers use this moment brilliantly to illustrate a central theme of the series. No amount of money or luxury can replace the comfort of familiar traditions. Granny's wood stove becomes a powerful symbol of continuity and self-reliance amid Beverly Hills' excess. The kitchen sequence provides some of the episode's warmest humor. Miss Hathaway has not yet fully entered the fray, but the stage is set for future conflicts as Granny surveys the modern stove with deep distrust. She declares she will need to fetch wood and start a fire, completely bypassing the gas or electric capabilities of the new appliance. When the family discovers the well-stocked pantry and refrigerator, their reactions are priceless. Food that is froze solid baffles them, leading to discussions of digging a root cellar and storing provisions the old-fashioned way. These moments are handled with such affection that they never feel mocking. Instead, they invite the audience to smile at the innocence and practicality of the Clampetts while appreciating how their mountain ways offer a refreshing critique of modern convenience. Mr. Drysdale's tour of the mansion allows for wonderful moments of exposition and comedy. He proudly points out architectural details, the history of the crystal chandelier that once hung in Versailles and the sheer scale of the estate with its 32 rooms and 14 bathrooms. The Clampetts' responses are pure gold. Jed politely notes that they do not mind second-hand items completely missing the historical significance of the furnishings. When Drysdale mentions the sunken marble bathtubs, the family's practical mountain minds immediately begin calculating how much water would be needed and how to heat it. The contrast between Drysdale's refined enthusiasm and the Clampetts' straightforward practicality creates a constant undercurrent of delightful tension. Jed's tour of the mansion reveals his character's steady wisdom once again. While others react with either wide-eyed wonder or suspicion, Jed takes it all in with thoughtful appreciation. He recognizes the generosity of Mr. Drysdale but remains grounded. His primary concern continues to be the comfort and happiness of his family, rather than the prestige of the estate. This quality makes him immensely relatable. In a world that often equates wealth with happiness, Jed reminds us that true contentment comes from family bonds and personal integrity, not from marble floors or crystal chandeliers. Granny's ongoing resistance reaches new heights inside the mansion. Every luxurious feature seems to confirm her fears about leaving the hills. The indoor plumbing, while practical, feels strange and unnatural to her. The sheer size of the house makes her worry about getting lost. Yet even in her grumbling, there are subtle hints of reluctant awe. The script handles her character with beautiful nuance. She is stubborn but never unsympathetic. Her mountain pride serves as an anchor for the entire family, preventing them from being completely swept away by their new surroundings. Ellie Mae and Jethro bring youthful energy and physical comedy to the exploration. Jethro's attempts to be helpful, offering to chop tree trunks that turn out to be telephone poles or searching for a wood pile, generate constant laughs. Ellie Mae's wild spirit leads her to climb and explore in ways that would never occur to the mansion's previous sophisticated residents. Their innocence and enthusiasm prevent the culture shock from becoming overwhelming, instead turning it into a joyous discovery process. The mansion itself becomes almost a character in this sequence. Its grandeur stands in constant hilarious opposition to the Clampetts' way of life. Every detail from the sweeping staircase to the ornate light fixtures highlights the vast distance between Tennessee mountain culture and Beverly Hills high society. Yet the script never suggests that one is superior to the other. Instead, it celebrates the Clampetts' ability to remain authentically themselves, even when surrounded by unimaginable luxury. This message resonates deeply, especially in an era when many Americans were experiencing rapid social and economic changes. One particularly touching moment occurs when the family gathers and reflects on how far they have come. The contrast between their old cabin with its kerosene lamps, wood stove and outdoor facilities and this palatial estate is staggering. Yet through it all the Clampetts maintain their core values: honesty, hard work, family, loyalty, and simple pleasures. Jed's quiet leadership ensures that the family does not lose sight of who they are amid all the new wealth. The culture shock experienced in the mansion is multi-layered. It is visual, linguistic, practical, and philosophical. The Clampetts must navigate not only unfamiliar objects but an entirely different worldview. Where they value self-sufficiency and practicality, Beverly Hills celebrates display and convenience. Where they find joy in simple tasks like chopping wood or cooking over an open fire, the New World offers push-button solutions that feel alien and untrustworthy. The writers mine this gap for comedy while simultaneously using it to make profound observations about American society and the immigrant-like experience of rural to urban transition. As this section draws to a close, the family begins to settle, however tentatively, into their new surroundings. The mansion has been claimed at least physically, but the real process of making it a home is only beginning. Granny's stove will likely sit unused in the corner for some time. Jethro will continue finding creative ways to apply mountain logic to modern problems. Ellie Mae will explore every corner with untamed curiosity. And Jed will provide the steady guidance that holds them all together. This extended exploration of the Clampett mansion serves as more than just a tour, it is a declaration of the show's central comic and thematic premise. The family has arrived in Beverly Hills, but Beverly Hills has not yet conquered the Clampetts. Their first impressions and culture shock establish the delightful tension that will drive the entire series. In the heart of Hollywood glamour, these honest mountain folk bring something far more valuable than money. They bring authenticity, warmth, humor, and an unshakable sense of self. The mansion, for all its splendor, has met its match. The Clampetts are in residence, and nothing in Beverly Hills will ever be quite the same again. With humor, heart, and hillbilly wisdom intact, they stand ready to face whatever new surprises their luxurious surroundings have in store. Into the already chaotic world of the newly arrived Clampett family strides one of the most memorable and enduring supporting characters in the history of the Beverly Hillbillies, Miss Jane Hathaway, executive secretary to Mr. Drysdale. Part 8 of the pilot episode brilliantly showcases her arrival and her determined, often hilarious mission to bring order, refinement, and Beverly Hills sophistication to this untamed hillbilly clan. What unfolds is not merely a clash of personalities but a masterclass in comedic tension, cultural contrast, and affectionate character exploration that deepens our understanding of every member of the Clampett household, while introducing a worthy foil who will become an integral part of the series' charm. Miss Jane Hathaway enters the mansion like a force of nature wrapped in efficiency and propriety. Dressed impeccably and armed with boxes of fine clothing, she announces herself with the crisp confidence of someone who has successfully managed the affairs of wealthy clients for years. Her initial encounter with Ellie Mae, whom she mistakes for a domestic servant, sets the tone for the delightful misunderstandings to come. When Ellie Mae explains that she has been sent out to sweep but that Miss Hathaway is supposed to take her in hand and get her in the right kind of clothes, Jane embraces the challenge with enthusiastic determination. She sees herself as a modern-day Pygmalion, ready to transform the barefoot Galatea of the mountains into a sophisticated Beverly Hills debutante. The script uses Miss Hathaway's mission to highlight the fundamental differences between the world of polished professionalism and the earthy authenticity of the Clampetts. Jane approaches her task with genuine goodwill and impressive competence, yet she is repeatedly bewildered by the family's complete lack of pretension and their unwavering commitment to their own ways. This dynamic creates some of the episode's richest comedic exchanges. Jane's refined vocabulary and proper manners constantly bump up against the plain-spoken literal hillbilly dialect, producing humor that feels organic rather than forced. Her first major undertaking is with Ellie Mae. The scene in which Jane presents the beautiful new wardrobe is both funny and touching. For Jane, these elegant dresses, hats, and accessories represent the gateway to social acceptance in Beverly Hills. For Ellie Mae, they feel like alien garments designed to restrict her freedom. The tomboy spirit that defined her life in the hills rebels instantly. When Jane turns her back for a moment, Ellie Mae bolts like a wild colt, climbing a tree to fashion a slingshot fork rather than submit to refinement. This moment perfectly captures Ellie Mae's internal conflict and Jane's growing frustration. Yet even in her exasperation, Jane shows underlying affection and patience traits that will define her relationship with the family throughout the series. The interaction between Miss Hathaway and Granny in the kitchen ranks among the episode's comedic highlights. Granny, already suspicious of the modern appliances, and fiercely protective of her traditional cooking methods, meets Jane's well-intentioned advice with fiery resistance. When Jane suggests sophisticated dishes like a fluffy soufflé, Granny counters with the practical demand for possum, or at least something she can actually hunt and prepare. The clash between Jane's urban culinary knowledge and Granny's mountain cooking wisdom is executed with perfect timing and warmth. Granny's declaration that she is a cook with a stove that does not draw food that is frozen solid chickens that cannot be caught, and a smart alecky city woman telling her how to do her job stands as one of the most memorable lines of the pilot. What makes these scenes so effective is the underlying respect the script shows for both women. Jane is not portrayed as a snob but as a competent, dedicated professional genuinely trying to help. Granny is not merely stubborn but a guardian of authentic traditions and practical knowledge. Their conflict is less about superiority and more about two completely different worldviews attempting to coexist under one roof. This nuanced approach prevents the comedy from becoming mean-spirited and instead makes it warmly human. Jethro's introduction to Miss Hathaway provides another delightful layer of comedy. His instant innocent infatuation with the sophisticated city woman is handled with charming awkwardness. When Jane learns that Jethro attends Oxford, her momentary excitement is quickly deflated by the revelation of the one-room schoolhouse. Yet she maintains her poise and intellectual curiosity, attempting to engage him in conversation befitting an Oxford man. Jethro's proud recounting of his crawdad eating championship and his unique etymology of the school's name leave Jane momentarily speechless, a rare occurrence for the normally unflappable secretary. These moments solidify Jethro's role as the lovable simpleton, whose straightforward charm disarms even the most sophisticated outsiders. The flamingo incident brings all these threads together in glorious chaos. Jethro proudly presents what he believes is a giant pink chicken, only for Jane to identify it correctly as a valuable ornamental bird. The resulting confusion, with Granny demanding it be rung for supper, Ellie Mae defending it, and Jane desperately trying to preserve the elegant creature, creates a perfect storm of cross-cultural misunderstanding. Jane's increasingly frantic attempts to maintain order while the Clampetts apply mountain logic to every situation showcase her growing realization of just how monumental her civilizing mission truly is. Throughout her efforts, Miss Hathaway demonstrates remarkable adaptability and good humor. Even when physically overpowered by Granny and Ellie Mae in a moment of domestic wrestling, she maintains her dignity and continues trying to fulfill her duty. Her eventual acceptance into the family's hunting plans and her reluctant participation in their world mark an important turning point. She begins to see beyond the surface chaos to the warmth, loyalty, and honesty that define the Clampetts. This evolving relationship foreshadows her important role as both ally and exasperated observer in future episodes. The script uses Miss Hathaway's mission to explore deeper themes of identity and assimilation. The question is never whether the Clampetts should completely change to fit Beverly Hills standards. Rather, it asks how much refinement is truly necessary, and whether authentic character matters more than polished appearances. Jane's well-meaning attempts at civilization are constantly undermined by the family's unshakable sense of self. Jed's calm wisdom, Granny's traditionalism, Ellie Mae's wild spirit, and Jethro's simple enthusiasm prove remarkably resistant to external transformation. In this resistance lies much of the show's enduring appeal. Jed Clampett's interactions with Miss Hathaway further illuminate his character. He treats her with old-fashioned courtesy and gratitude while gently maintaining the family's independence. He appreciates her efforts but never allows them to override the family's core values. This balanced approach reinforces Jed's role as the moral and emotional center of the household. His quiet authority ensures that while the family may adapt to certain aspects of their new life, they will never lose sight of who they fundamentally are. The visual comedy during Miss Hathaway's mission is exceptional. The contrast between her elegant attire and the chaotic domestic scenes, the elegant boxes of clothing scattered across rustic activities, and the image of a proper secretary attempting to wrangle hillbillies in a marble mansion all contribute to the episode's timeless humor. Every frame reinforces the central fish out of water premise while deepening our affection for the characters. By the end of this section, Miss Hathaway has been firmly established as a worthy addition to the ensemble. Her mission to civilize the clan is far from complete, but she has already earned the audience's respect and amusement. More importantly, she has begun to understand that the Clampetts may not need nearly as much civilizing as she initially believed. Their honesty, family, loyalty, and unpretentious joy offer something that Beverly Hills sophistication often lacks. The introduction and initial efforts of Miss Jane Hathaway represent a pivotal expansion of the show's comedic universe. She serves as both a catalyst for chaos and a bridge between two worlds. Her refined sensibility constantly collides with hillbilly practicality, creating endless opportunities for humor while allowing for moments of genuine warmth and mutual respect. In attempting to transform the Clampetts, she herself begins to be transformed by their authentic spirit. This extended sequence devoted to Miss Hathaway's mission stands as testament to the writing strength of the pilot. It takes what could have been a simple plot device and turns it into a rich exploration of class culture, identity, and the limits of social refinement. Through laughter and gentle observation, the episode reaffirms its core message: true worth lies not in outward appearance or polished manners, but in the strength of character, the warmth of family, and the courage to remain true to oneself. As the dust of this first major civilizing attempt settles, the Clampetts remain delightfully themselves, and Miss Hathaway finds herself unexpectedly charmed by the very clan she was sent to reform. The stage is now set for even greater adventures as these two worlds continue their hilarious and heartwarming dance together in the heart of Beverly Hills. Few sequences in the pilot episode of the Beverly Hillbillies capture the pure essence of its comedic brilliance and cultural charm as vividly as the family's introduction to the magnificent swimming pool on their new estate. In Part 9, the script transforms this luxurious centerpiece of Beverly Hills living into a source of endless wonder, hilarious misunderstanding, and heartfelt commentary on tradition, cleanliness, and the comforting familiarity of old ways. Dubbed affectionately by the Clampetts as the cement pond, the swimming pool becomes far more than a scenic backdrop. It emerges as a central symbol of the vast gulf between mountain practicality and California opulence while providing some of the episode's most memorable and endearing moments. Jethro, with his characteristic wide-eyed enthusiasm, is the first to discover this architectural wonder. Exploring the grounds, he returns breathless with excitement, describing a fancy pond with steps leading down into it, so the cow can walk right down and get a drink. At one end stands a lady made out of rock, pouring water from a jar into the basin. To the Clampetts, this is not an ornamental swimming pool designed for leisure and status. It is a marvel of practical engineering. Jethro's literal interpretation turns the elegant fountain sculpture into a helpful water source for livestock, perfectly illustrating the hillbilly mindset that finds utility in even the most decorative elements of high society. This innocent reframing of luxury into something practical and useful lies at the heart of the show's gentle humor. The discovery of the pink flamingo further elevates the comedy. Jethro, convinced he has found the biggest chicken in creation, chases the elegant bird with determination worthy of a mountain hunt. The flamingo's graceful movements and pink plumage are completely lost on him. To Jethro, it is simply supper on legs, a giant pink chicken that swims like an otter and flies over the stone lady. When he proudly presents his catch to the family, the resulting confusion with Miss Hathaway and Granny creates a delightful storm of cross purposes. Granny sees potential stew. Jane desperately tries to protect the valuable ornamental bird, and Ellie May finds herself caught between her love of animals and her family's practical approach to food. These moments sparkle with life and demonstrate the writer's gift for mining maximum comedy from the simplest cultural misunderstandings. Parallel to the outdoor discoveries runs one of the episode's most touching and revealing domestic scenes: Granny's determination to maintain proper hygiene using traditional mountain methods. Unimpressed by the mansion's modern plumbing and multiple bathrooms which the family has not yet fully explored or trusted, Granny sets up her wash tub and scrubbing board right beside the cement pond. She heats water the old-fashioned way and begins washing clothes with her homemade lye soap. This stubborn commitment to familiar routines is both comical and deeply admirable. For Granny, cleanliness is not a luxury afforded by wealth but a moral imperative rooted in self-reliance and hard-earned wisdom. She has rendered fat into soap during the hardest times, and she sees no reason to abandon proven methods simply because money has arrived. The bath time sequence featuring Ellie Mae is handled with remarkable warmth and sensitivity. As Granny assists her granddaughter in the outdoor tub, we witness a tender moment of generational bonding amid the chaos of their new surroundings. Granny explains the process with practical mountain logic: heat, The water adds soap scrub thoroughly. When Ellie Mae questions the strong smell of the lye soap and wonders about the lack of fish in the pond, Granny reassures her that her homemade soap would kill anything that survived the medicine in the fancy water. Miss Hathaway's arrival during this ritual produces one of the episode's finest comic confrontations. Jane is horrified by what she views as a primitive form of ablution while Granny defends her methods with fierce pride, pointing to her own leather-tough skin as proof of 72 years of successful washing. This clash between Jane's modern sensibilities and Granny's traditional practices transcends simple comedy. It touches on deeper themes of authenticity, generational knowledge, and the question of what constitutes true progress. Granny's lye soap, for all its harshness, represents years of self-sufficiency and resourcefulness. Jane's suggestion of delicate bath oils and upstairs marble tubs represents convenience and refinement. Neither is entirely wrong. But the script wisely refuses to declare a victor. Instead, it allows both approaches to coexist in humorous tension, celebrating the validity of different ways of life. Jed's quiet oversight of these scenes reinforces his role as the family's moral compass. He supports Granny's insistence on maintaining standards of cleanliness, while gently encouraging the younger generation to explore the new possibilities around them. His conversation with Ellie Mae earlier in the episode about growing into womanhood finds a subtle echo here as she experiences her first bath in this strange new environment. The cement pond, with its clear water and elegant surroundings, stands ready to offer new experiences, yet the family's instinct is to approach it on their own terms. The practical problems the family encounters with their new home add layers of rich comedy. The absence of a well or creek confounds them. Jethro's eagerness to dig a new well near the house demonstrates both his willingness to help and his incomplete understanding of modern infrastructure. When he notices water seemingly everywhere underground, thanks to the sprinkler system, his excitement is genuine. These moments highlight how the Clampetts' mountain ingenuity constantly seeks to adapt unfamiliar technology to familiar needs. They do not reject progress outright. Rather, they approach it through the lens of practical utility and self-reliance. Miss Hathaway's growing exasperation and eventual reluctant admiration during the cement pond sequence beautifully develop her character. Her attempts to explain the proper use of the swimming pool and the indoor bathrooms are met with mountain logic that repeatedly disarms her. Yet beneath her frustration lies a growing affection for the family's unspoiled nature. Jane begins to see that the Clampetts' approach to life, while unconventional, contains a refreshing honesty and joy that is often missing in Beverly Hills society. This evolving perspective makes her one of the most relatable and enduring characters in the series. The visual imagery of the cement pond sequence is particularly striking. The pristine blue water, elegant fountain, and perfectly manicured surroundings provide a gorgeous backdrop for the Clampetts' rustic activities. Granny's wash tub sitting proudly beside the marble pool, Ellie Mae bathing outdoors with lye soap, and Jethro chasing the flamingo create a picture that is simultaneously absurd and strangely harmonious. The writers and the original production understood that the humor worked best when the luxury of the setting was allowed to speak for itself against the family's authentic behavior. Throughout this section, the script continues its gentle celebration of family loyalty and practical values. Even with $25 million in the bank and a mansion at their disposal, the Clampetts refuse to abandon the habits and standards that defined their life in the hills. They will be clean, they will feed themselves, and they will do so according to the knowledge and traditions they trust. This steadfastness is never portrayed as backwardness but as a source of strength and dignity. In a world of easy luxury, their willingness to work and maintain self-reliance offers a quiet but powerful critique of excessive dependence on modern conveniences. The cement pond ultimately becomes more than a swimming pool. It transforms into a stage where the central conflicts and charms of the series play out in miniature. Tradition meets modernity. Simplicity encounters sophistication. Practicality confronts decoration. And through it, all the Clampett family navigates the experience with humor, love, and an unshakable sense of who they are. The pool may be filled with chemically treated water and surrounded by Hollywood elegance, but for the Clampetts, it is simply another challenge to be met with mountain spirit and hillbilly ingenuity. By the conclusion of this sequence, the audience feels even more deeply connected to the family. We have laughed at their misunderstandings, smiled at their innocence, and admired their refusal to be easily changed by wealth. The cement pond, with all its confusion and bath time chaos, has served its purpose magnificently. It has provided abundant comedy while reinforcing the show's core message. True happiness and character are not determined by one's surroundings but by the values one carries within. As the sun sets on the Clampett estate, the cement pond continues to sparkle, the flamingo finds temporary peace, and the family persists in making their grand new home their own. The adventures have only just begun, but already, it is clear that Beverly Hills has welcomed a family that will leave a far greater impression on it than it will ever leave on them. The heart of the comedic brilliance in the pilot episode of the Beverly Hillbillies finds one of its most uproarious expressions in the kitchen catastrophes that unfold as Granny confronts the alien world of modern appliances in their lavish Beverly Hills mansion. This sequence stands as a masterclass in fish-out-of-water situational comedy where the indomitable spirit of the mountain matriarch collides head-on with the conveniences of 20th-century domestic technology, generating laughs that are as warm as they are riotously funny. Granny, with her feisty traditionalism and unshakable adherence to the old ways of the Ozarks, refuses to be intimidated by the gleaming stove that comes installed in the expansive kitchen. Instead, she approaches it with the same skeptical determination she might reserve for a particularly stubborn possum or a temperamental still hidden deep in the hills. The script captures her essence perfectly here, portraying her not as a backward figure to be mocked, but as a vibrant guardian of authentic living whose struggles highlight the absurd gaps between simple rural life and polished urban sophistication. From the moment the family settles into the mansion, Granny's culinary domain becomes a battlefield of misunderstandings and improvised solutions. Accustomed to cooking on a wood stove that she could control with practiced hands, she immediately dismisses the modern appliance as inadequate. The dialogue sparkles with her characteristic complaints, noting that the fancy stove does not draw properly, lacks a proper flue, and seems utterly incapable of producing the kind of reliable heat needed for preparing the hearty mountain fare she knows best. This clash is deeply layered, serving both as pure physical comedy and as a thoughtful commentary on the theme of authenticity versus pretension that runs throughout the series. While the Beverly Hills kitchen represents progress and luxury, Granny sees it as an unnecessary complication that threatens the honest, hands-on methods that have sustained her family for generations. Her insistence on fetching wood and building a fire, the old-fashioned way, even in the midst of such opulence, underscores her mountain pride and provides endless opportunities for humorous escalation. The script's attention to detail in these kitchen scenes is remarkable. When Granny attempts to ignite the stove, smoke begins to billow, filling the air and prompting frantic reactions from the rest of the family. Ellie Mae is dispatched to fetch wood. Jethro offers his brawn and Jed observes with his trademark calm wisdom, allowing the chaos to unfold naturally while gently guiding the household. The humor builds as Granny whacks the stubborn appliance with an iron skillet, treating it like a recalcitrant mule that needs a firm hand to get moving. This physical comedy is executed with perfect timing in the script, evoking the slapstick traditions of classic American comedy while remaining grounded in character. One can almost hear the studio audience erupting in laughter, as Granny's frustration mounts, her colorful mountain idioms flying thick and fast. She is not merely fighting a stove. She is defending a way of life against the encroachment of modernity that she views with deep suspicion. Further compounding the hilarity is the issue of the frozen food stored in the modern refrigerator. Granny discovers that the provisions, including a ham, have turned rock solid in the cold storage, leading to more exasperated declarations about the foolishness of city folk who do not know how to properly preserve their victuals. She announces plans to dig a root cellar the very next day. A practical solution straight from her Ozark playbook that contrasts sharply with the mansion's advanced but, to her mind, inferior facilities. This moment beautifully illustrates the pilot's genius in using everyday domestic tasks to explore larger cultural divides. The Clampetts' resourcefulness and self-reliance shine through even in the face of wealth, reminding viewers that true richness lies not in gadgets but in the knowledge passed down through generations. Granny's lye soap, her wood-fired cooking, and her determination to maintain standards of cleanliness and hearty meals become symbols of integrity in a world that seems intent on replacing honest labor with convenience. As the kitchen catastrophes intensify, the script introduces interactions with Miss Jane Hathaway that add another dimension of comedic contrast. Miss Hathaway, the efficient executive secretary, attempting to assist the family, represents the polished Beverly Hills approach to domestic management. Her suggestions for soufflés and other sophisticated dishes fall on deaf ears when Granny counters with possum innards and mustard greens. The verbal sparring between the two women is a highlight of the episode, showcasing Granny's sharp tongue and unwavering confidence in her own expertise. When Miss Hathaway questions Granny's methods or offers modern alternatives, the older woman fires back with unapologetic logic rooted in decades of experience. This exchange is not mean-spirited but rather a celebration of differing worldviews handled with the show's signature affectionate humor. Granny emerges victorious in spirit. Even if the kitchen remains a smoky mess, reinforcing her role as the emotional core of the Clampett family. Delving deeper into the analysis, these kitchen scenes serve a vital structural purpose in the pilot. They provide a contained arena where the broader themes of the series can play out in microcosm. The move to Beverly Hills promises luxury, but it also brings disorientation. By focusing on the kitchen, the script taps into universal experiences of homemaking while infusing them with regional flavor and character-specific quirks. Jed Clampett's calm wisdom is on full display as he mediates the chaos without diminishing Granny's authority. His quiet support for her methods, even as he encourages adaptation, exemplifies the family's loyalty and balance. Ellie Mae's assistance in fetching water and wood highlights her own transitional state between tomboy habits and emerging femininity, while Jethro's enthusiastic but clumsy help adds physical comedy and lovable simplicity to the proceedings. Every family member contributes to the kitchen symphony of mishaps, making the sequence feel organically lived in rather than contrived. The comedic timing in the pilot script is impeccable throughout these moments. Consider the scene where Granny examines the egg from the supposed giant chicken only to find it frozen solid like everything else in the storage. Her declaration that it will take 2 days to thaw before cooking elicits chuckles through its practicality and exaggeration. The audience is invited to laugh not at Granny's ignorance, but at the ridiculousness of a situation where advanced technology creates more problems than it solves for someone accustomed to self-sufficient living. This gentle satire extends to the broader Beverly Hills lifestyle, suggesting that sophistication can sometimes come at the cost of common sense. The writers under Paul Henning's vision masterfully avoid condescension, instead using the Clampetts' perspective to poke fun at both rural and urban extremes. Furthermore, the kitchen catastrophes illuminate Granny's multifaceted character with remarkable depth. She is feisty and stubborn, yes, but also deeply caring and resourceful. Her determination to cook proper meals for the family, despite the obstacles, stems from love and a sense of duty. In one memorable stretch of dialogue, she reflects on past hardships when the family was down to their last piece of fat, choosing to render it for soap rather than eat it immediately, trusting that the Lord would provide while they maintained their standards. This backstory adds emotional weight to the comedy, making her current struggles in the mansion all the more poignant and relatable. The pilot episode uses these details to build audience investment in Granny, ensuring that her battles with modern appliances resonate as both funny and heartfelt. Extending this analysis, one appreciates how the sound design and potential visual gags implied in the script amplify the humor. The billowing smoke, the clanging of pots, the creak of the old rocking chair brought into the new environment, and the sizzle of attempted fires all contribute to a sensory experience that would translate magnificently to the screen. The mansion's state-of-the-art kitchen with its polished surfaces and mysterious controls becomes almost a character itself, an antagonist in Granny's domestic drama. Her victory, however, partial, comes through adaptation on her own terms, such as moving operations outdoors to a big kettle when necessary. This flexibility demonstrates the Clampetts' resilience, a key trait that allows them to thrive amid culture shock. Thematically, the kitchen sequence reinforces the episode's celebration of family values and authenticity. In a world of millionaires and movie stars, the Clampetts prioritize honest work, hearty food, and mutual support. Granny's refusal to lower her standards, even with $25 million in the bank, speaks volumes about integrity and self-reliance. Her lye soap may be harsh by Beverly Hills standards, but it gets the job done. Much like her traditional cooking methods nourish the body and soul. The script uses these catastrophes to gently critique consumerism and over-reliance on technology, while affirming the enduring appeal of simpler ways. This balance is what has made the Beverly Hillbillies a timeless classic capable of entertaining while offering subtle insights into the human condition. As the kitchen events unfold, the pilot builds anticipation for future episodes where these conflicts will evolve. Viewers sense that Granny will eventually find ways to bend the modern world to her, while perhaps incorporating elements of both traditions in a uniquely Clampett fashion. Her interactions with the family during these moments strengthen bonds with Jed, offering quiet encouragement, Ellie Mae providing energetic help, and Jethro bringing his enthusiastic if misguided assistance. The humor never overshadows the warmth, creating a perfect blend that defines the show's appeal. One can envision the laughter echoing as Granny finally gets a fire going or declares a possum dinner superior to any city souffle, her confidence unshaken. In reflecting on the broader legacy of this pilot, the kitchen catastrophes exemplify why the series succeeded so spectacularly. It took relatable situations, infused them with distinctive characters, and wrapped them in clever writing that respected its audience. Granny versus the Modern Appliances is more than a comedic set piece. It is a microcosm of the entire fish-out-of-water premise, delivered with heart, humor, and keen observation. The extensive detail in the script allows for rich performances, with Irene Ryan's portrayal of Granny destined to become iconic through precisely these kinds of scenes. Her physical comedy, sharp delivery, and underlying tenderness create a character who feels alive and authentic, even in the most exaggerated situations. Moreover, these sequences highlight the collaborative family dynamic that sustains the Clampetts through every challenge. No one faces the kitchen woes alone. The entire clan pitches in, turning potential disaster into shared experience and bonding opportunity. This emphasis on togetherness provides emotional grounding amid the laughs, ensuring the comedy feels substantial rather than superficial. The pilot masterfully paces these moments, allowing the humor to build gradually before releasing in big payoffs, such as smoke-filled kitchens or thawing battles with frozen hams. Each detail, from the oversized egg to the complaints about the lack of a proper wood box, contributes to an immersive comedic world that viewers want to revisit again and again. The cultural contrasts embedded in the kitchen are particularly insightful. Granny's methods represent a pre-industrial self-sufficient ethos that values skill, patience, and connection to nature. The Beverly Hills appliances symbolize a modern, detached convenience culture. By letting Granny's perspective dominate the humor, the script subtly champions the former without outright rejecting the latter, creating a nuanced commentary that resonates across generations. This approach avoids the pitfalls of simpler satires, instead offering a warm embrace of human eccentricity and adaptability. Jed's leadership ensures the family navigates these changes, without losing their core identity, a message as relevant today as it was in the early 1960s. Expanding further on the comedic techniques, the pilot employs repetition and escalation effectively in the kitchen. Granny's repeated attempts to master the stove, each one more determined than the last, create a rhythmic buildup that pays off in increasingly absurd ways. Her colorful language, filled with mountain expressions and biblical references, adds linguistic flavor that enhances every exchange. The script's dialogue flows naturally, revealing character through action and reaction rather than exposition. This craftsmanship allows the audience to laugh heartily while developing genuine affection for the characters. In conclusion of this extensive examination, the kitchen catastrophes, featuring Granny's epic struggle against modern appliances, represent the pilot episode at its finest. They encapsulate the show's enduring appeal through brilliant character work, cultural insight, situational humor, and heartfelt family dynamics. These scenes invite viewers to celebrate the Clampetts' unpretentious spirit while gently laughing at the absurdities of clashing worlds. The writing is rich, the characters vivid, and the comedy timeless, ensuring that this part of the episode continues to delight and resonate with audiences decades later. Granny's Kitchen stands as a testament to the power of authentic comedy, rooted in love, tradition, and the simple joy of watching beloved characters navigate life's unexpected turns with courage and humor. The pilot episode of the Beverly Hillbillies reaches a pinnacle of satirical brilliance and character-driven comedy in its portrayal of Mr. Drysdale, the ambitious president of the Commerce Bank of Beverly Hills, whose delight in the arrival of the Clampett millionaires forms a central comedic engine that propels much of the narrative forward with sharp wit and warm observation. This section of the script masterfully contrasts the sincere, unpretentious world of the Ozark Hillfolk with the calculating yet comically enthusiastic world of high finance and Beverly Hills society. Mr. Drysdale, portrayed as a shrewd but endearingly opportunistic banker, sees in Jed Clampett and his family not merely new clients but a golden opportunity to elevate his bank's status and his own personal fortunes. His reactions to the $25 million deposit are filled with unrestrained glee, positioning him as both a foil and an unwitting straight man to the Clampetts' innocent antics. The writing here exemplifies the genius of the fish-out-of-water situational comedy, using Drysdale's delight to highlight themes of wealth, authenticity, class differences, and the timeless appeal of honest simplicity, triumphing over calculated sophistication. From the moment news of the Clampett fortune reaches the bank, Mr. Drysdale springs into action with a level of excitement that borders on the manic yet remains grounded in the polished professionalism expected of a Beverly Hills banker. The script opens this thread with him receiving confirmation of the massive deposit which catapults the Clampetts into the upper echelons of the bank's capital assets. His immediate instructions to prepare a red carpet reception reveal a man who is both genuinely thrilled and strategically motivated. He envisions the Clampetts as the perfect embodiment of new money that can bring prestige deposits and perhaps a touch of exotic appeal to his institution. This delight is rendered with affectionate humor, never descending into outright cynicism, which allows audiences to enjoy Drysdale's scheming while rooting for the Clampetts to remain true to themselves. The contrast is delicious, while the banker obsesses over appearances, gardeners, and impressing his wife. The Clampetts are busy turning their mansion into a makeshift mountain homestead complete with wood chopping and possum considerations. One of the most insightful aspects of this part of the pilot is how it uses Mr. Drysdale to explore the broader American fascination with wealth and social status. His delight is not portrayed as purely mercenary. There is a boyish enthusiasm in how he prepares the estate coordinates with his secretary Miss Hathaway and rushes to welcome the family after their chaotic arrival. When he learns of the prison misunderstanding, his humiliation is palpable. Yet it quickly transforms back into opportunistic delight as he personally escorts the Clampetts to their new home. The dialogue sparkles with his effusive praise, referring to Jed as the oil millionaire, complimenting the handsome nephew Jethro, the lovely daughter Ellie Mae, and especially the beautiful money brought by Granny. This moment captures the essence of the show's gentle satire, poking fun at how wealth can color perceptions while celebrating the Clampetts' obliviousness to such flattery. Jed's calm integrity shines through as he remains unfazed, treating the banker with the same straightforward courtesy he would extend to a neighbor back in the hills. The script deepens the comedy through Drysdale's interactions with his own staff and family. His conversations with the bank employee Taylor reveal a man under pressure from his wife Mrs. Drysdale, who is less than thrilled about having such colorful new neighbors. The tension between Drysdale's professional delight and domestic discord adds layers of relatable humor, showing that even in the rarefied air of Beverly Hills, personal relationships come with complications. His insistence on perfecting the mansion grounds, despite his wife's objections, underscores his investment in the Clampetts as more than clients. They represent a personal triumph. This dedication sets up future episodes where Drysdale will go to increasingly elaborate lengths to protect and profit from his prized depositors, but in the pilot it serves to establish him as a memorable recurring character whose motivations drive much of the situational absurdity. Analyzing the character dynamics further, Mr. Drysdale's delight serves as a perfect mirror to the Clampetts' values. Where Jed embodies quiet wisdom, moral steadfastness, and a reluctance to be impressed by material excess, Drysdale represents the energetic pursuit of financial advantage tempered by genuine hospitality. The pilot excels in balancing these traits without making either side unlikable. When Drysdale visits the mansion and attempts to explain the grandeur of the estate, including its history tied to John Barrymore, the Clampetts respond with practical observations about room for kinfolk and the need for a woodpile. These exchanges are rich with cultural contrast as the banker's polished explanations meet the family's homespun logic, generating laughs rooted in mutual incomprehension yet underlying goodwill. Jed's invitation for Drysdale and his wife to join them for supper, featuring grits and hog jowls, stands as one of the episode's most charming moments, highlighting the Clampetts' generous spirit and Drysdale's polite deflection with the excuse of his wife's absence in Boston. The thematic depth in this section is profound. The Beverly Hillbillies pilot uses Mr. Drysdale's banking delight to comment on the nature of wealth in American society. The Clampetts' sudden riches from the oil strike do not change their essential character. They remain the same honest, hard-working mountain folk. Drysdale, on the other hand, sees dollar signs and social capital, yet his delight is portrayed with enough warmth that he becomes an ally rather than an antagonist. This nuanced approach allows the show to critique pretension and greed lightly while affirming the virtues of authenticity, family, loyalty, and simplicity. The script's chronological flow integrates these elements seamlessly, moving from the bank's internal excitement to the personal welcome at the mansion, creating a cohesive narrative thread that ties the oil strike origins to their calm, New California life. Furthermore, the humor in Drysdale's delight is amplified by the physical and verbal comedy surrounding the Clampetts' integration. His horror at the initial prison incident quickly gives way to damage control and redoubled efforts to make the family comfortable. The presence of Miss Hathaway as his efficient secretary adds another layer as she becomes the bridge between the banker's vision and the reality of hillbilly domesticity. Drysdale's pride in securing the estate next to his own reveals a touch of social ambition, yet the pilot keeps this ambition comical rather than villainous. Audiences delight in watching him navigate the chaos of the Clampett household, from the pink flamingo, mistaken for a chicken, to the outdoor kettle cooking, all while maintaining his bankerly composure. Delving into the script's craftsmanship, the dialogue assigned to Mr. Drysdale is pitch perfect for conveying his character. His speeches about the mansion's history, the sunken marble bathtubs, and the 32 rooms are delivered with enthusiasm that borders on salesmanship, only to be met with Jed's understated responses or Granny's practical concerns. This back and forth creates a rhythmic comedy that feels natural and endlessly entertaining. The pilot also uses Drysdale to foreshadow ongoing storylines, such as his role as both banker and neighbor, ensuring the audience understands the potential for future conflicts and alliances. His delight is contagious, drawing viewers into the world where the Clampetts' fortune becomes a shared adventure. From a broader perspective on classic American comedy, this portrayal of Mr. Drysdale fits beautifully into the tradition of fish-out-of-water stories, where secondary characters react with exaggerated responses to the protagonist's uniqueness. Much like other great situational comedies, the show derives humor from the collision of worlds, but the Beverly Hillbillies distinguishes itself through its affectionate tone. Drysdale is not a snob to be despised, but a relatable figure whose excitement mirrors the audience's own fascination with the Clampetts. The writing celebrates cultural contrasts without judgment, inviting laughter at both the hillbillies' naivety and the sophisticate's pretensions. Jed's integrity acts as a moral anchor, ensuring that Drysdale's delight never overshadows the family's core values of honesty and kinship. The kitchen and household scenes intersect wonderfully with Drysdale's storyline, as his vision of refined living clashes with Granny's ongoing battles against modern appliances. When he encounters the smoky kitchen or hears plans for possum dinners, his polite reactions add to the comedic tension. Yet his underlying support for the family remains evident, solidifying his role as a key player in their Beverly Hills saga. This integration demonstrates the pilot's tight scripting, where every element serves the larger narrative of adaptation and mutual benefit. The Clampetts bring fresh energy and honesty to Drysdale's world, while he provides the practical infrastructure for their new life, creating a symbiotic relationship ripe for ongoing humor. Expanding on the character analysis, Mr. Drysdale represents the American dreamer in his own right, someone who has climbed the ladder of success through banking and now sees the Clampetts as validation of opportunity and fortune. His delight is genuine because the $25 million deposit is not just money. It is a status symbol that elevates his bank above competitors. The script subtly explores how wealth circulates in society, with Drysdale acting as the gatekeeper who is both protector and beneficiary. This dynamic adds intellectual depth to the comedy, making the pilot far more than simple slapstick. It becomes a thoughtful meditation on class, money, and human connection, delivered through engaging characters and laugh-out-loud situations. In terms of pacing and structure, the sections featuring Drysdale are expertly woven throughout the latter half of the pilot. His initial excitement at the bank transitions into the rescue, from the misunderstanding, the grand tour of the mansion, and the personal interactions that reveal his neighborly intentions. Each appearance builds upon the last, creating a satisfying arc within the episode. The humor escalates naturally as the Clampetts' behaviors test his composure. Yet his delight never fully dissipates, promising a long and fruitful relationship. This careful construction ensures the audience remains invested in both the laughs and the emotional undercurrents of family and friendship. The pilot's warm third-person perspective shines in these moments, blending gentle humor with sharp observations about society. Drysdale's delight humanizes the world of wealth, showing that even millionaires and bankers can be comically flustered by something as simple and pure as hillbilly hospitality. When Jed offers supper or discusses the old home place, Drysdale listens with a mix of politeness and curiosity, hinting at potential growth in his own character. This potential for mutual influence between the two worlds is one of the show's most enduring strengths, established firmly in the pilot. Reflecting on the legacy of these elements, Mr. Drysdale's role as the delighted banker has become iconic in television history. Raymond Bailey's performance, guided by the rich script, brought to life a character who is ambitious yet ultimately good-hearted, providing the perfect counterbalance to the Clampett clan. The kitchen catastrophes and mansion explorations gain additional comedic weight through his reactions, creating a tapestry of humor that celebrates diversity of background and personality. The episode uses his delight to affirm that true value lies not solely in bank accounts but in the relationships forged across cultural divides. In every respect, this part of the pilot exemplifies the masterful storytelling that made the Beverly Hillbillies a cultural phenomenon. Mr. Drysdale's delight in banking on the new millionaires drives the plot while enriching the themes of family authenticity and new beginnings. The extensive comedic situations, detailed character interactions, and insightful cultural commentary combine to create an unforgettable viewing experience. As the Clampetts settle into their Beverly Hills life, Drysdale stands ready as both facilitator and foil, ensuring that the adventures ahead will be filled with warmth, wisdom, and waves of laughter. His enthusiasm mirrors the audience's own, inviting everyone to join in celebrating the timeless charm of these hillbillies who struck it rich without losing their souls. The careful balance of satire and affection ensures that viewers leave this section of the episode with a deeper appreciation for the show's genius. Mr. Drysdale does not merely react to the Clampetts, he becomes an integral part of their story, his delight fueling the engine of situational comedy that continues to resonate more than 6 decades later. Through his eyes we see the full potential of the premise: a group of honest mountain folk injecting life, laughter, and integrity into the polished hills of Beverly Hills, with a banker happily along for the ride. The pilot episode of the Beverly Hillbillies achieves some of its most memorable and thematically resonant comedic heights in the rich tapestry of cultural contrasts that define Part 12 of this analysis, where the simple, hearty traditions of the Ozark Mountains collide spectacularly with the polished sophistication of Beverly Hills. Through iconic moments involving possum innards, the misidentification of flamingos as giant pink chickens, and the broader clash between hillbilly resourcefulness and California elegance, the script delivers a masterclass in fish-out-of-water comedy that is as insightful as it is uproariously entertaining. This section celebrates the genius of creator Paul Henning in using everyday situations to illuminate deeper truths about authenticity, pretension, family values, and the enduring appeal of unpretentious living. The Clampetts, with their honest mountain ways, do not merely adapt to their new environment, they transform it, injecting vitality and humor into a world that often prioritizes appearances over substance. At the core of these contrasts lies the Clampetts' approach to food and domestic life. Granny's proud declaration of cooking mustard greens and possum innards for supper stands as a quintessential emblem of hillbilly cuisine rooted in self-sufficiency and tradition. When offered to Mr. Drysdale through Jed's warm invitation, the suggestion elicits a polite but horrified deflection from the banker, highlighting the vast gulf between mountain fare and Beverly Hills gastronomy. The script handles this with gentle affection rather than mockery, allowing audiences to laugh at the absurdity while appreciating the Clampetts' genuine hospitality. Possum innards represent more than just a meal, they symbolize a lifestyle of making do with what nature provides, a far cry from the soufflés and exotic delicacies Miss Hathaway might suggest. Granny's feisty defense of her cooking methods against modern alternatives underscores her role as the guardian of cultural identity, refusing to compromise even with $25 million in the bank. This resistance to culinary sophistication becomes a source of endless comedy and a profound statement on the value of tradition in a changing world. One of the episode's most visually and verbally hilarious sequences involves Jethro's pursuit of what he believes to be a giant chicken by the cement pond. The revelation that the creature is actually a flamingo with its elegant pink plumage and long legs provides a perfect metaphor for the cultural misunderstandings at play. Jethro, with his lovable simplicity and hillbilly logic, describes the bird in terms familiar to his mountain upbringing: a chicken so large it can outrun a jackrabbit, complete with drumsticks the size of small logs. The family's excitement over this supposed bounty contrasted against Miss Hathaway's refined horror at the idea of harming the beautiful exotic bird generates layered laughs. The script excels here in blending physical comedy with Jethro's enthusiastic chase and verbal wit as the Clampetts interpret their luxurious new surroundings through the lens of their Ozark experience. The cement pond itself. A lavish swimming pool with its ornate rock lady. Pouring water is repurposed as a practical water source for bathing and potential livestock, further amplifying the delightful clash of worlds. These moments of misinterpretation are not superficial gags but carefully crafted elements that explore the theme of perception versus reality. In Beverly Hills, the flamingo is a decorative symbol of wealth and exotic taste. To the Clampetts, it is potential supper just as the mansion's grand rooms are opportunities for family gatherings, and the extensive grounds are land waiting for a root cellar or woodpile. Jed Clampett's calm wisdom anchors these scenes. As he observes the chaos with quiet amusement and gentle guidance, never losing sight of his family's well-being. His integrity shines when he reassures the household that they will maintain their standards of cleanliness and honest living regardless of their new millionaire status. This leadership prevents the cultural contrasts from becoming divisive, instead turning them into opportunities for family bonding and humorous adaptation. Miss Hathaway's role as the would-be civilizer adds significant depth to the contrasts. Her attempts to introduce Ellie Mae to refined clothing and sophisticated living clash hilariously with the young woman's wild spirit and practical needs, such as a store-bought slingshot. When she proposes elegant solutions for the kitchen or warns against lye soap's effects on delicate skin, Granny counters with 72 years of leathery proof that her methods work. The verbal sparring between Granny and Miss Hathaway represents a broader dialogue between tradition and modernity delivered with sharp timing and warm respect for both sides. The pilot avoids easy stereotypes by giving each character dignity. Miss Hathaway's efficiency is admirable, even if ineffective against mountain stubbornness, while Granny's methods, though primitive by Beverly Hills standards, are effective and loving in their own right. The bathing scene by the cement pond further exemplifies the episode's comedic brilliance in cultural juxtaposition. Granny's preparation of a traditional tub bath with heated water and homemade lye soap right in the midst of the mansion's luxury creates a vivid picture of hillbilly practicality triumphing over convenience. Ellie Mae's reluctance to fully embrace ladylike ways, combined with the practical concerns about the pond water smelling medicinal, leads to heartfelt conversations about cleanliness being next to godliness. The script uses this domestic ritual to explore themes of femininity, family care, and adaptation. Jed's earlier talk with Ellie Mae about growing into a young lady gains added resonance here as the new environment challenges yet ultimately affirms her identity. The humor arises naturally from the contrast between the opulent bathroom upstairs, complete with sunken marble tub, and the family's preference for familiar methods outdoors. Such scenes remind viewers that true comfort comes from within, not from surroundings alone. Beverly Hills' sophistication is gently satirized through these interactions without descending into meanness. The mansion's history, its crystal chandeliers once belonging to Louis XV and its association with Hollywood legends like John Barrymore are presented as impressive yet somewhat irrelevant to the Clampetts, who value space for kinfolk and practical utility over aristocratic pedigree. When Mr. Brewster shows pictures of the estate, Pearl's awe mixes with practical observations, reinforcing that the family's values remain unchanged despite their wealth. This steadfast authenticity forms the emotional heart of the pilot, making the cultural contrasts not just funny but profoundly affirming. The show suggests that hillbilly spirit, with its emphasis on hard work, family loyalty, and resourceful living, offers a refreshing counterpoint to the sometimes hollow elegance of high society. Expanding on the comedic techniques, the pilot employs repetition, exaggeration, and character-driven escalation to maximum effect. Jethro's repeated descriptions of the pink chicken granny's ongoing battles with frozen food and uncooperative stoves and the family's collective reinterpretation of luxury items create a rhythmic flow of humor that builds throughout the latter half of the episode. The dialogue, rich with mountain dialect and colorful expressions, contrasts sharply with the more formal speech of Drysdale, Hathaway, and Brewster. This linguistic divide itself becomes a source of comedy as terms like cement pond, critters, and vittles paint a vivid picture of the Clampetts' world invading the refined hills of Beverly Hills. The flamingo incident in particular stands as a microcosm of the entire premise. What sophisticated residents see as decorative wildlife, the Clampetts view as opportunity. Jethro's inability to catch the bird leads to further explorations of the grounds, revealing underground sprinkling systems mistaken for abundant water sources and opportunities for digging wells. These discoveries highlight the Clampetts' pioneering spirit, treating the mansion like a new frontier to be tamed and made their own. The script's warm perspective invites the audience to celebrate this adaptability rather than laugh condescendingly at their naivety. Jed's leadership ensures that these contrasts strengthen rather than fracture the family unit. Thematically, the cultural contrasts serve a larger purpose in the American comedic tradition. The Beverly Hillbillies uses the Clampetts' arrival to question the notion that wealth and sophistication automatically equal happiness or superiority. Possum innards may not appeal to Beverly Hills palates, but they represent honest sustenance and tradition. The flamingo may be beautiful, but in the eyes of hungry mountain folk it holds potential nourishment. The cement pond may be designed for recreation, but it serves the practical needs of bathing and water collection. Through these inversions, the pilot gently critiques materialism while championing self-reliance, integrity, and joy in simple pleasures. This balance has ensured the show's timeless appeal, resonating with audiences who appreciate characters who stay true to themselves amid changing circumstances. Jed Clampett's character provides the moral and emotional center amid the laughter. His conversations with family members, whether advising Ellie Mae on growing up or supporting Granny's methods, demonstrate a wisdom that transcends cultural boundaries. He appreciates the new opportunities Beverly Hills offers but never allows them to erode the family's core values. This nuanced portrayal elevates the comedy from mere situational gags to something more substantial and heartfelt. Similarly, Granny's unyielding traditionalism, Ellie Mae's vibrant energy, and Jethro's enthusiastic simplicity each contribute unique flavors to the cultural stew, creating a rich ensemble dynamic that feels authentic and endearing. The pilot's attention to detail in these contrasts extends to smaller moments that enrich the overall narrative. The discussion of store-bought slingshots versus handmade ones, the thawing of frozen hams, and the plans for a root cellar all weave together to paint a complete picture of a family reshaping their environment to suit their way of life. Miss Hathaway's frustrated, yet ultimately accepting interactions with the clan foreshadow her evolution into a sympathetic ally in future episodes. Even Mr. Drysdale's delight gains additional layers when confronted with these realities, as he balances his financial interests with genuine neighborly concern. In reflecting on the broader legacy, these cultural contrasts are what have made the Beverly Hillbillies a cornerstone of classic American television comedy. The pilot episode masterfully establishes a premise that could have easily relied on cheap stereotypes, but instead delivers thoughtful, character-driven humor rooted in affection and observation. Possum innards become more than a punchline, they symbolize a proud heritage. Flamingos transform from lawn ornaments into symbols of miscommunication and opportunity. Beverly Hills' sophistication, while impressive, is revealed to have its own limitations when measured against the warmth and resilience of the Clampett spirit. The humor never feels forced because it emerges organically from the characters' genuine reactions to their new reality. Audiences laugh with the Clampetts, not at them, sharing in their wonder and resourcefulness. This empathetic approach distinguishes the series and explains its phenomenal success. The script's flowing prose-like dialogue captures regional voices with accuracy and charm, making every exchange feel lived in and believable despite the exaggerated situations. As the pilot draws toward its conclusion through these contrasts, viewers are left with a profound sense of optimism. The Clampetts will face many more cultural collisions in Beverly Hills, but their family bond, honest values, and humorous adaptability will see them through. Scenes of possum dinners, flamingo chases, and Lysol baths are not just comedic highlights but foundational elements that define the show's identity. They invite repeated viewings, each time revealing new layers of wit and wisdom. The extensive exploration of these elements reveals the pilot's craftsmanship at its finest. Henning's writing balances broad physical comedy with subtle social commentary, creating entertainment that appeals across generations. The cultural contrasts enrich every character arc: Ellie Mae's awakening, Granny's steadfastness, Jethro's enthusiasm, and Jed's leadership, all gain depth through their interactions with the sophisticated new world. Beverly Hills may offer marble bathtubs and movie star neighbors, but the Clampetts bring something far more valuable: authenticity, laughter, and an unshakable sense of self. In every respect, this section of the pilot exemplifies why the Beverly Hillbillies remains a beloved classic. The contrasts between possum innards and souffles, flamingos and chickens, mountain ways and California elegance are rendered with warmth, insight and impeccable comedic timing. They celebrate the human spirit's ability to find home and happiness anywhere as long as family and values remain intact. The episode leaves audiences smiling, enriched, and eager for more adventures in the remarkable journey of the Clampett clan. The pilot episode of the Beverly Hillbillies culminates in a profoundly heartwarming celebration of hillbilly spirit that encapsulates the very essence of why this classic American situational comedy has endured as a beloved cultural essence, touchstone for generations. In this final movement of the episode, the script masterfully weaves together the themes of unbreakable family, loyalty, steadfast moral values, and optimistic new beginnings in the sun-drenched hills of California, leaving audiences with a deep sense of satisfaction, affection and anticipation for the adventures to come. The Clampett clan, having navigated the dizzying transition from their humble Ozark cabin to a sprawling Beverly Hills mansion, emerges not as transformed caricatures but as authentically themselves, their mountain souls shining brightly amid the polished sophistication of their new surroundings. This concluding part of the pilot stands as a testament to Paul Henning's brilliant writing, which blends gentle humor, sharp cultural observation, and genuine emotional warmth into a seamless tapestry that affirms the timeless appeal of simple honesty in a complex world. At the core of this heartwarming spirit is Jed Clampett, the patriarch whose calm wisdom and unshakable integrity serve as the moral compass for the entire family. Throughout the pilot, Jed has approached sudden wealth with characteristic prudence, refusing favors from strangers and carefully weighing the decision to move to California. In the final stretches, his leadership shines as he guides his kin through the inevitable culture shocks while ensuring they never lose sight of who they are. Jed's quiet conversations with Ellie Mae about embracing her femininity, his supportive presence during Granny's kitchen battles and his gracious hospitality toward Mr. Drysdale all reveal a man of deep principle. He understands that $25 million brings opportunity, not obligation, to change one's fundamental character. This steadfastness provides the emotional foundation upon which the episode's comedy rests, transforming what could have been mere slapstick into something far more meaningful and resonant. Jed represents the ideal of the American everyman, rooted in rural values yet open to new horizons, making him one of the most endearing protagonists in the history of television comedy. Granny's feisty traditionalism forms another pillar of the heartwarming hillbilly spirit. Her initial resistance to leaving the mountains, expressed so memorably from her rocking chair, gives way not to defeat but to a resilient adaptation on her own terms. Even in the opulent mansion, she insists on maintaining standards of cleanliness, proper cooking and moral living. Her battles with modern appliances, her commitment to lye soap and homemade victuals, and her unwavering faith that the Lord will provide, while the family does its part, all underscore a profound sense of continuity. Granny is not merely comic relief. She is the emotional heart of the family, preserving the wisdom of generations amid the glitter of Beverly Hills. The script treats her with deep respect, allowing her stubbornness to be both funny and inspiring. Her presence reassures viewers that no amount of wealth or relocation can erode the core values of hard work, self-reliance, and family devotion that define the Clampetts. Ellie Mae's journey in the pilot adds a touching layer of youthful vitality and feminine awakening to the heartwarming conclusion. Raised wild as a cougar in the hills, she begins to confront the realities of growing into a young lady, prompted by her father's loving guidance. Her tomboy charm, boundless energy and innocent beauty remain intact, even as Miss Hathaway attempts to civilize her with new clothes and refined manners. The pilot suggests that Ellie Mae's spirit will flourish in California, where new opportunities for growth exist without requiring her to abandon her authentic self. Scenes of her helping with household tasks, chasing flamsauces, and sharing tender moments with her father highlight her role as a bridge between the old world and the new. This character arc embodies hope and renewal, showing that new beginnings can nurture rather than diminish one's true nature. Her enthusiasm for the mansion and the adventures ahead infuses the episodes close with youthful optimism that perfectly complements the wisdom of the older generations. Jethro Bodine, with his lovable simplicity and giant enthusiasm, contributes an infectious joy to the family's California chapter. His fifth-grade education at Oxford, his eagerness to drive chop wood and explore the new estate, and his straightforward approach to life provide consistent moments of gentle humor that warm the heart. Jethro's misadventures, such as mistaking the flamingo for a giant chicken or interpreting the mansion's features through hillbilly logic, never feel mean-spirited because they stem from pure-hearted innocence. In the pilot's resolution, he stands ready to support the family, whether by lifting heavy objects, learning new things, or simply bringing laughter. His presence reminds us that the hillbilly spirit values enthusiasm, loyalty, and a willingness to tackle challenges with whatever knowledge one possesses. Together with the rest of the clan, Jethro helps create a complete picture of a family that is greater than the sum of its parts. The theme of family loyalty permeates every scene in the concluding portions of the pilot. From the decision to move as a unit to Granny's eventual participation, despite her reluctance to the collective effort in turning the mansion into a home, the Clampetts demonstrate time and again that blood ties and shared values matter more than material wealth. Jed's insistence on keeping the family together, including making room for kinfolk to visit, speaks to a profound sense of responsibility and love. Even when faced with the grandeur of 32 rooms and 14 baths, the family prioritizes togetherness over luxury. This emphasis on familial bonds provides the emotional ballast that prevents the comedy from floating away into superficiality. In an era when many television shows celebrated individualism, the Beverly Hillbillies boldly affirmed the strength found in multi-generational unity, making its message deeply comforting and universally appealing. The pilot's exploration of values stands as one of its most insightful achievements. Despite their newfound millionaire status, the Clampetts cling to principles of honesty, hard work, cleanliness, and generosity. Jed refuses to be slicked in the oil deal and maintains his straightforward demeanor with bankers and strangers alike. Granny renders fat for soap rather than waste it, and insists on proper standards even when surrounded by abundance. Ellie Mae and Jethro approach their new life with eagerness to contribute rather than merely consume. These values shine brightly against the backdrop of Beverly Hills sophistication, gently suggesting that true richness lies in character rather than bank accounts. The script delivers this message with warmth and subtlety, avoiding preachiness while allowing the humor to emerge naturally from the contrasts. Mr. Drysdale's delight in their money is balanced by his growing recognition of their inherent decency, creating potential for mutual respect and friendship in the episodes ahead. New beginnings in California are portrayed with optimistic charm that captures the pioneering spirit of the American dream. The move from the isolated hills to Beverly Hills represents not just a change of scenery but a leap into possibility. The mansion with its expansive grounds, cement pond, and modern amenities becomes a canvas upon which the Clampetts paint their unique lifestyle. The pilot ends on a note of excitement rather than resolution, inviting viewers to imagine the many adventures that will arise as the family navigates movie stars, socialites, and everyday challenges while remaining true to themselves. Cousin Pearl's influence in suggesting the move is acknowledged, with gratitude reinforcing the importance of kin networks even across great distances. The episode masterfully balances nostalgia for the old home place with enthusiasm for the future, creating an emotional arc that feels complete yet open-ended. The fish-out-of-water comedy reaches its most satisfying expression in these final moments as the Clampetts begin to make Beverly Hills their own. The prison misunderstanding is forgiven. The mansion is claimed and practical plans for wells, root cellars, and proper cooking are set in motion. Each cultural contrast from possum innards to flamingos serves ultimately to highlight the resilience and adaptability of the hillbilly spirit. The script's genius lies in showing that the Clampetts do not need to become sophisticated to succeed. Instead, their authenticity enriches their new environment. This affirmative message resonated powerfully with audiences in the 1960s and continues to do so today, offering a refreshing counterpoint to stories of corruption by wealth. Henning's writing in the pilot demonstrates exceptional craftsmanship in balancing broad comedy with intimate character moments. The dialogue remains consistently flavorful, blending mountain dialect with universal truths. Visual gags implied in the script, such as smoke-filled kitchens, oversized eggs, and enthusiastic wood chopping, translate into memorable screen moments that enhance the heartwarming tone. The supporting characters, including Mr. Drysdale and Miss Hathaway, are drawn with enough depth to serve as foils without becoming villains, allowing the focus to remain squarely on the Clampetts' journey. This ensemble approach creates a rich lived-in world that viewers want to return to again and again. The heartwarming conclusion also carries subtle social commentary that elevates the episode beyond mere entertainment. By presenting the Clampetts as decent, hard-working people who happen to strike it rich, the pilot challenges stereotypes about class and region. It suggests that rural values have much to offer urban society and that sudden wealth need not erode one's soul. In doing so, it offers a hopeful vision of the American experience, where opportunity and tradition can coexist harmoniously. This thematic richness delivered through laughter and affection explains the show's phenomenal success and lasting legacy as a cornerstone of classic television comedy. As the pilot draws to a close, audiences are left with a profound sense of contentment and anticipation. The Clampett family, united and unchanged at their core, stands poised to conquer new challenges in California with the same spirit that sustained them in the Ozarks. Jed's steady leadership, Granny's fiery wisdom, Ellie Mae's vibrant energy, and Jethro's enthusiastic simplicity combine to create an irresistible ensemble whose story feels both timeless and deeply personal. The episode succeeds in making viewers care about these characters not just as comic figures but as beloved family members embarking on an extraordinary chapter of life. The heartwarming hillbilly spirit that permeates the conclusion reminds us of the power of authenticity in a world often obsessed with appearances. The Clampetts teach us that family integrity, resourcefulness, and a good sense of humor can overcome any culture shock or material challenge. Their new beginnings in California symbolize the broader American narrative of reinvention, without forgetting one's roots, a message that continues to inspire and entertain. The pilot episode, through its masterful blend of comedy and heart, establishes a foundation for one of television's most enduring successes, inviting generations of viewers to laugh, reflect, and feel a genuine connection to the simple yet profound world of the Beverly Hillbillies. In reflecting on the entire pilot, one cannot help but marvel at how effectively it establishes its premise while delivering immediate emotional and comedic payoff. The transition from oil strike to mansion life is handled with impeccable pacing, ensuring that every cultural contrast and character moment serves the larger celebration of family and values. The warm, engaging tone of the writing makes the fish-out-of-water situations feel inviting rather than alienating. By the time the episode ends, viewers are fully invested in the Clampetts' future, eager to see how their hillbilly spirit will flourish amid the palm trees and swimming pools of Beverly Hills. This concluding section solidifies the pilot as a masterpiece of situational comedy. It honors the past, embraces the future, and above all cherishes the human connections that make life meaningful. The heartwarming spirit of the Clampett family offers a beacon of light and laughter, proving that no matter where one travels or how much wealth one acquires, staying true to one's values and loved ones remains the greatest treasure of all. The Beverly Hillbillies pilot thus concludes not with a dramatic flourish but with a gentle, optimistic promise of more joy to come, perfectly capturing the essence of great American comedy that entertains while nourishing the soul. The extensive character development, thematic depth, and comedic craftsmanship in this final part ensure the episode resonates on multiple levels. Families watching together can appreciate the humor, the values, and the relatable dynamics. New viewers discover a world that feels instantly welcoming, while longtime fans are reminded why they fell in love with the series. The heartwarming hillbilly spirit endures as a powerful reminder of the simple truths that bind us all, transcending time, place, and social class. In California or the Ozarks, the Clampetts remain a family to root for, laugh with, and admire.